can be an angry girly, for sure. So
what do you
I can
mean?
see how people would be like, oh, she's crazy. But like, I'm not.
What have you done?
Nothing. Throw a drink at you at the club and cause a scene, and
You don't think that's insane?
is that maybe a tad
I
bit?
think it sucks we live in a generation where everything has to be about like games and signs. Do you guys ever feel that way? Do you ever wish that like things could just be more direct and upfront?
You're at a club, we're at a bar, right?
Mm-hmm.
Guy comes up, he says, hey, I just saw you from over there, from across the room.
Yeah.
I want to fuck you. Let's go back to my place.
If he's poor, like, I'm not going after that. I want some titties. Yeah, nothing too crazy. Just like a nice solid like C cup.
This girl was the biggest cockblock I've ever met, like, in my entire existence. This girl will cockblock endangered pandas at the zoo. Like, she has like zero boundaries for anything. Boy math. Unstop. I take every negative and I turn into a positive. I'm like a fucking manifesting beast.
That's a real thing.
Zach, you're really dope.
Yeah. I've gotten over every single speeding ticket I've ever gotten. I'm 4-0. I'm like Jordan in the finals. You can't stop me. It's so easy to do.
Yeah.
Even
I need
you
your
go
lawyer
on like?
because I have 2 red light tickets.
Did you go on dates with all the cops?
Welcome to Unattainable. Glad to have you with us. First of all, thanks to all of our listeners. You guys have been great. We have been seeing some crazy growth the last couple months in terms of engagement and followers, so thank you guys for that. I'm your host, Zach Evans, along with my co-host. This is Mo, and we got a couple special guests on the podcast today. Why don't you guys go ahead, introduce yourselves, say where you're from, what you're doing, and your star sign.
I'm Maddie. I'm from Louisiana. I make music. And you said star sign?
Yeah, like horoscope?
Horoscope?
Yeah.
Like a zodiac?
Yeah, zodiac. Yeah.
Star sign.
I'm an Aries.
Nice. Hi, I'm Leah. I'm from Boston originally, and I am a bottle girl, and I'm a Libra.
Ooh, Libra.
Ooh.
How old are you guys?
I'm 24.
You're 24.
I'm 22.
22. Very nice. Awesome. What's your relationship status? Leah, you go first.
Single.
Single?
Single.
What about you?
I'm single.
Have you guys been in relationships?
Yeah.
Yep.
How many?
I think like 3 serious ones. Yeah, like 3.
Long term?
6 to like 9 months.
Oh, so not really
Not
that
like
long.
crazy that long, no.
Is that because of you or because of the guys?
I think it's a mix. For sure.
Okay, what do you mean?
I mean, I can be like a silly goose sometimes, for sure.
Meaning what?
Like,
Libras are, yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm a super silly goose. Yeah, I'm a Libra. I think I've learned a lot from being in relationships, and I'm a very giving person. Like, if you're my boyfriend, like, I'm going to do everything for you type thing. But that's hurt me in the past. And, like, if you pull some fuck shit on me, you know what I mean? I can be an angry girly, for sure. So
what do you
I can
mean?
see how people would be like, oh, she's crazy. But, like, I'm not.
What have you done?
Nothing insane. Just like, you know what I mean? Throw a drink at you at the club and cause a scene. And
You don't think that's insane?
is that maybe a tad bit? I'm owning up to it.
It depends what the situation
But
is.
like,
It
yeah, it
I don't
depends what the
think- I don't
situation
think
is. If
there
I'm
a
at the
situation
bar,
that
like
justifies throwing
if a
somebody
guy
a drink.
throws a drink at you, then you would throw a
But
drink
that's not
at
what
him,
we're
right?
talking
if I've
about
had
here.
alcohol in my system, like perhaps my emotions are slightly elevated. But
Cheers.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, thank you.
Okay,
and
so
here we are.
tell the story. What happened? How it happened? What you did?
Now I painted myself to be a crazy person. I'm not crazy. I'm cool. I'm funny. I have a pet cat. I make a mean pot of white rice. Okay, I'm really cool. Anyways, so and I was in college. I went to the University of Tennessee, and there was this guy who was just a total bag of shit, like just walking frat boy. I always think like, oh, they're gonna change for me. No, this man was in Pike, like no chance. And he was just like really, I can't even remember like what specifically happened, but I think he was like talking to a bunch of other girls after saying like he wants to be exclusive, and he bought me sneakers. And I think that's a pretty big, like, I would never buy anybody I wasn't like serious about like $200 sneakers. And they were nice. They're like limited edition 97s.
Damn.
Yeah. So like they were like cool as hell. So I was like, oh, this guy really likes me. And then he didn't. And he was like, I saw him like making out with another girl. I think that's what it was at the bar. And then I threw a drink on him, I believe.
Interesting.
I think that's what I did.
You believe. You don't remember.
No, I mean, I was 19 or 20. Yeah. Like, you know.
So 4 years ago.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. I just turned 24. Yeah. 4 years ago. So I was, bar hopping like one does in college. And he was also, which I will add, he was also like 23 and like a sophomore in college. And I'm like 19, a sophomore in college. So that was the first, like,
red flag.
Everyone takes their time, but like, what's up with that? What's up with being a sophomore and like not passing your classes at 23? You know what I mean? That's a little silly in my eyes.
So here's the always thing I always have trouble understanding with girls, right? Because you said something interesting. You said, "Oh, I thought I could change him." Blah 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 blah. But like, okay, so I got scammed one time with this bullshit.
I got catfished bad
meal
one time.
delivery service, right? I think it's called Hello Fresh or What's Up Fresh or something.
Yeah.
They send you these meals, and I open the package, and it's just ingredients. You still have to fucking make the meal. I literally pay them. I pay them for meals. They don't even cook them. They just send me the ingredients.
Yeah, they send you the ingredients.
How much?
I feel like this is very well advertised on the website.
It is very well advertised.
Livid because I got like 3 months because there's a discount if you get 3 months. I was fucking pissed.
But you're saying ingredients, they're sending you like the actual.
Yeah, I feel like that's better. I feel like if I got some frozen ass meals.
Zach has this issue where
if
he
I'm
doesn't
gonna pay this much.
No,
cook
I'm
it for me.
asking.
Okay.
They're sending you actual ingredients and then they just tell you how to make the dishes.
Yes.
Yeah, then you have to put them together. Put
when
in the
you
oven.
said they're sending you ingredients, I don't know why I thought you just meant they were just showing you what to
They
make.
give them, like, a
and I was
pound
like,
of-
back up. I was like, can you please like clarify that they're sending you like physical? Okay.
No, the whole subscription is they send you the ingredients exactly what you need to use. So there's no overages. There's no, less amount of what you need.
Right.
And there is instructions on how to make it, and then you just make it.
Yeah.
The biggest problem Zach has, he doesn't read the descriptions on things.
Oh yeah, you see a picture and you're like, hell yeah.
Zach,
you have
this nice new kitchen.
Earlier
Yearly
today.
subscription off the
You
bat.
should use it to cook some food.
Uber Eats, microwave, catch.
No.
Yeah, Uber Eats, I felt that.
We have a Friendsgiving coming up.
Yeah.
And we were talking about turkeys.
Yeah.
And the prices of turkeys. He sends me a screenshot of a turkey that is $1.50.
From Wish?
And no, from nowhere. That doesn't exist. And I said, Zach, that is per pound, buddy.
Zach,
No. Wait.
It's called Hello Fresh, not Hello Frozen. Okay.
Hello Fresh.
It is.
Right.
No, that's what he
So,
said. He said
you need to
Hello
like
Fresh.
you need to
I want
take
it
that
fresh and ready to eat.
Okay, well
from my fucking
here's
mouth.
the deal. When
My
something is being
esophagus.
shipped out,
Yeah, the PEMDAS
you gotta
is
like
up.
I think the whole premise of it being Hello Fresh is because it's fresh. You make it, so it's better than having somebody make all this stuff for you, freeze it, and then send it to you. Right. You get to do it on your own, and it's like fresh.
Okay, this is why girls end up in toxic relationships. I'm gonna explain to you.
Dude, Jesus.
This is the reason.
Oh
Okay.
my God. This is like
you can buy something where you get all these random ingredients, but you have to change it into an actual meal. Or you could buy a meal that's already good the way it is.
I'm not a part of this segue into the relationship. I was just talking about HelloFresh.
But I was segueing to her point. When you're like,
Okay.
I thought you could change them. And by the way, I hear
it.
girls say this all the time. Like, every girl I know, I thought I could change it, blah, blah. But there's guys who are already finished.
Yeah.
Like, they're already changed.
They're
like,
for
why
sure
don't girls
are.
just go for the guys that are already the finished product instead of
don't know,
HelloFresh?
'cause we're
Which you gotta
deceived.
fucking, how much almonds do I put in here? I don't know. Let's put it in the oven. Let's fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, all I was saying is that HelloFresh, you take the ingredients, you make them together. I don't apply that to my relationships, but I guess some people can. I
get mad at a girl one time. She told me her favorite food was blueberries.
Oh,
Real. My favorite food's rice.
I'm like,
Straight up.
blueberries is an ingredient. It's not food.
Where are you from?
Boston originally.
What's your ethnicity?
Oh, white.
Your family. Okay, so everybody.
As far as I know, my dad is from England, and my
Okay.
mom is like Irish descent.
Got it.
So, but I get that a lot. I get a lot of people think I'm not white.
No, it's not. I didn't think whether you were or not. It's just the fact that you said you like rice. I didn't know if that was an ethnic thing or not.
No, but I have gotten that. A lot of people think I'm Asian. Like I've gotten that at least 7 times.
Very far a stretch, but okay.
Okay, cool.
Sure.
I'm just reciting.
It's a small stretch, I think.
Really?
You think? Yeah, no, I've heard it like several times.
Oh, interesting.
No,
well,
I just love
regardless,
rice.
The rice thing. Why do you like rice so much?
It's just always there for me. Like I throw it in a pot and I add some water, and in 8 minutes I have a delicious meal.
Have you had Persian food?
Yeah, and I love Persian food.
Yeah.
But I am pescatarian, so only the fish part of it.
Sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Interesting.
I go buck wild on some seafood though. Buck wild on some seafood.
All right. So going back to you being crazy.
Yeah.
Or not being crazy for that matter. Since that last incident 4 years ago, nothing else has happened.
Oh,
or has it?
No, there has, but I am not going to talk about my past relationships other than that guy because he sucked, and he was also 23 and like a freshman in college, and that's just, you're asking to get, tomatoes thrown at you walking down the street. I mean, you can't help the dude, but everybody else, I just won't be. But no.
But so what's the reason that you're not in a relationship now?
I just moved to LA, and one, I work all the time, and two, I think my past relationships have taught me a lot about what I'm ready for and what the person I'm looking for is ready for, and just to not rush things or settle down, or especially being in such a new place where my life right now is so uncertain. I just graduated college. So I think it really just depends. I'm not against it. I've always been a more relationship oriented type person. Like I love having that one person. Like that's my boo. Like I'm going to do everything for you. And that's generally really how I am. But I feel like I've tried to force that kind of thing in the past, and it hasn't led me down great paths. So just kind of letting it naturally happen when it's going to happen. I'm still young.
What's a perfect date?
Perfect date would be Sugarfish. That's my favorite restaurant. I eat it all the time. I went alone yesterday and balls to the wall.
Sushi is always the move.
Always the move. Always the move. Always the move. Always
Sushi's
the move.
great.
So great. So Sugarfish, and then like I like little acts of kindness. Like I know it's like, oh, these girls say this, but like flowers or like something cute. I think that's really sweet. And then
so you don't find it simpy?
It can't, if it's done correctly, like if it's just like, hey, like I brought you flowers, you know what I mean, like let's go fuck up some raw fish, then it's like, okay, cool, thank you, like that's super sweet, I'm excited. But if it's like, really in your face and like, a huge ass bouquet of flowers and like it's just too much at the jump, I think you can do it in a cute way, and you can do it in a like, a really simp way. I feel like it has to be done with taste. Definitely not like, if you show up with flowers from like Walgreens that are half dead. You know what I mean?
Walgreens flowers are half dead.
I for sure have seen
flowers.
flowers.
I don't think Walgreens has flowers.
Oh no, they do.
Ralph's
do they?
Ralph's also,
Ralph's
is where it's at. Yeah.
$14.99. Boom. Any girl will be happy.
He's sold, ladies. He's ready for action.
Well, to be fair, I only buy flowers in one circumstance, and it's a very tactical, strategic maneuver as opposed to like a romantic maneuver.
And that's fair too. I mean, honestly, us girls, like we're simple. Like we like shopping and gifts.
No, not because of that. I use it as a strategy to figure out if the girl that I'm seeing is hooking up with other guys.
Okay, how do you do that?
So you go to one of these websites. They like send the flowers directly to the girl's doorstep. It's like delivery. But on the tag, instead of putting your name, I just put a smiley face emoji. So then the next day, if she calls me, oh my God, thanks for the flowers. Okay, she's only seeing me. If she doesn't call me, I mean, she doesn't know which one of the guys she's hooking up with gave her the flowers, so she's not going to say anything. Or even worse, she posts it on her story and then doesn't text me anything. So I use it as like I'm like Sherlock Holmes. I'm like, clues.
Okay, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like a strategy move.
All right, I respect
I think
that.
it sucks we live in a generation where everything has to be about like games and signs. Do you guys ever feel that way? Do you ever wish that like things could just be more direct and upfront?
Well, you're not going to want to know the answer to this question.
Well,
so okay.
I don't want to
like digging her own hole.
I'm just saying, like,
this is the thing that is crazy to me. So girls have all these rules, right? I like flowers. He has to take me on a date. I don't have sex on the third date. He has to like his mom, but not too much.
I didn't get faxed these rules, so I'm not aware of
Okay,
them.
but most girls, right?
But yeah. Oh, yeah.
But then girls get mad when guys play the game of the rules that the girls created. You know what I mean? It's kind of like girls created the rules, but then don't want guys to play the game. I'm like, you guys made the game.
No, yeah, no.
Because if you take girls out of the equation, right, like gay guys, right?
Right.
They just have an app. You
They
just
do.
go on the app Grinder.
Yep.
Geo Target. Where are you? Oh, you can take the map and just fuck them. Like, it's just easy. It's just so easy.
No, my
but
one
girls
of my
made
best
a bunch of
friends
rules, but then it's like,
uses
don't play the
Grindr.
game. But
I get that's where it comes down to, like, you know, there is this generalization of like women do certain things, men do certain things, but it's just about finding a person that doesn't do those things or doesn't go by these things that you think are like, you know, just to me, it's just like a lack of confrontation and maturity to be like, oh, I'm gonna do this and do that and leave this breadcrumb and do this. And like, I just would so much rather somebody just be so upfront with me about what it is they want and they don't want, so that like I'm not having my time wasted and I'm not wasting their time. And I don't believe in like, oh, I'm gonna wait 2 hours to text this person back, or I'm gonna post this subtle thing, or I'm gonna like
dumb as shit.
I hate like the game, and it's just like, if it's built by whomever, whatever, it's just like the second I feel that something like that is coming around, I'm just like, okay, I'm good. Like, I'd rather just speak with somebody who is very just direct about things and like, you know, doesn't want their time wasted and doesn't want to waste time and can just be confident in who they are and not play the I need to act a certain way to get this person.
so let me ask you this. Okay, let's say you're at a club or at a bar, right?
Mm-hmm.
Guy comes up. He says, hey, you know, I just saw you from over there, from across the room.
Yeah.
I want to fuck you. Let's go back to my place. Because that's, to be honest with you, like, I know you don't want to hear this, but every guy is thinking that, but he's like, okay, I have to get to know her first because this is how it works.
It's a direct
which is fair or not fair. I'm not saying it's right or wrong, you know?
But number one, I'll say about that, already the atmosphere you in, obviously a lot of people are going to, I think more that way. And I'm not saying that, you know, obviously there is a directness that entails that kind of stuff. And I'm not against that. I'm just saying, like, you know what I mean? You know what I'm trying to say? Like, the directness of just like a general, I'm interested in talking or getting to know you, and I'm not going to like be weird about it or play games with it. Like, I'm just going to like get to know you as a person and see where it goes, as opposed to like, you know, I'm going to play the waiting game or this or that. But if you want me to answer like an abrupt question like that, obviously, like, no, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm just talking about like the general, like, just honesty and directness and like a wider sense, I guess. So
yeah, but the problem is that what you say you want and what you actually want are two different things. You're under the impression that you have these standards for yourself,
right?
But in reality, if a guy does exactly every single one of those things that you like, you're gonna end up not liking him.
You know,
and unfortunately, that's in reality, that's just how it is.
There's a lot of chase to attraction. I can agree with that. That people kind of get into the want what you can't have mentality. Like, I don't disagree with that. But, you know, I don't think, you know, things are too complex to be like, you would this or you would that. You know, like, you could meet somebody and you like their willingness and you like the simplicity of them just being direct with you. And again, I do agree that there are a lot of women that probably want more of a chase, want more of a thing. Same with men. But, like, I'm just speaking from a personal stance. Like, what
you like.
Yeah, I'm not saying that, like, you know, if a guy did all this stuff for me, that, you know, it's just so complex. Everybody's so different. I'm just saying personally, I prefer, if I'm ever wanting to pursue somebody or they're pursuing me, I just prefer honesty and upfrontness and not.
When was the last time you went on a date?
Last time I went on a date? Mm-hmm. I don't know. I've been single for a while and I haven't really.
How long is a while?
Since like 2021, maybe 2020.
Lack of desire?
No, not lack of desire. I'm just young. I moved to LA and
But you're 22, no?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I'm not really into hookup culture or anything, so it's not about that. It's really just more so like I haven't met anybody that I'm just like interested in pursuing, and I want that to be more of an organic thing, so I don't really do dating apps or things of that nature.
What do you do?
What do I do?
What do you do for work?
I make music.
You make music.
Mm-hmm.
And so you're at home mostly, or like in studio?
Yeah, I
Okay.
do other things for work. I have my friend has a catering company. I help him with that sometimes,
Mm-hmm.
and I do. It's LA. We all do. I think
Right,
multiple
multiple
things.
things.
Yeah, obviously, I want music to be like my primary source of work.
But you
But as
do get
far-
asked out.
Yeah, but like as far as like dating and stuff, it's just like I'm not opposed to it. It's not about a loss of desire. It's just I haven't met anyone that I'm interested in, but I'm not against it either. I just think that where I'm at right now in my life, like I like being single because I just like to be able to focus on myself and do what I'm doing, and I travel a lot, and I like to just I don't know. But if I met somebody and I really liked them and we met organically, like I would be open to
So what would be
pursuing
an
a
ideal
person.
guy for you?
An ideal? I don't know. I don't really have types or ideals. It's just like if we get along. Me, it's humor. I really like a guy with good humor and just directness, honesty, and I like somebody who really likes to, go on adventures or travel or like find actually just take interest in simplicity. I think that it's really cool to meet somebody who just likes to do simple things and enjoys the idea of doing it with you to get to know you, as opposed to making this big gesture or like, I don't really care so much about I need these flowers, I need these gifts, he needs to pay for that, this and that. I believe that like if I'm with a guy and I'm like seeing him and we've been seeing each other for a while, I don't mind picking up the bill. I don't mind like doing things for you too. I really don't agree that men should be expected to pay for everything and do all that stuff. I think that
agree.
it's a burden put on you guys, and I don't think it's fair for men to have to, pay for everything all the time. It's nice for them to do things for you and buy things for you, sure, but like I don't think that like it
Every
should be
single
so black and white where
yeah.
it's like I need a man that's gonna pay for this, that's gonna pay for that, that's gonna do that. Like I don't need anything. Like I'm happy, I can support myself. If I meet somebody, it's because I like you as a person. I want to get to know you. I'm not looking for you as a sense of stability. Like I have that in myself, and I just think that it's really important when you're looking for a partner. Again, everybody has their own thing that they want. I just personally want somebody that I'm interested in, that takes interest in me, not somebody that I feel like, oh, I want to be with this person because they're going to support me, other than like, mentally, emotionally. Like I just crave like an intimacy and connection with the person, not so much like a materialism that I think people get caught up in. So that's kind of my stance.
But and there's nothing wrong with it. I think everything that you said is very acceptable, obviously. Right. But I do feel like you're agreeing with her, but I also feel like you guys are on the two opposite sides of the spectrum.
No, in the sense where like, guys are expected to do all this, or like I even have friends or people that have said like, oh, well, like if he's poor, like, I'm not going after that. And I think that's, really shitty, because that's not what I would base any relationship on. And I agree in the fact that no, men shouldn't always have the burden of feeling like they need to pay. Like that's not how I was raised, and same, I hustle for myself. I always have. And no, every time you go to dinner, that's going to be a couple $100. You know what I mean? Now, guys should not pay for that every single time. I always offer, like in past relationships, I have always offered, because we're both eating the food. And yeah, I think a first date, like it's nice for the guy to pay, but not every time. And if you're in a relationship at all.
I hate when people throw around like the term like he's broke, he's poor, he's this.
Yeah,
like,
I hear that all the time.
I don't
like,
think
you
that
could
that's
be missing
cool.
out on good ass people.
I don't think it's cool for guys like to just be constantly measured on like if they didn't do this one thing or that thing, they're automatically, oh, he's a broke boy, like he's a whatever. It's just like that's not fair either. It's like
we all live in LA. Like none of us are filthy fucking rich.
I feel like
everybody. Well, some people are, but
everybody has their own sense of entitlement. Just something I've learned a lot is like a lot of people just, they expect a lot from a guy sometimes, and they're just like, he needs to do this and that and this and that, and that's fine. Everybody has their own standards. There's nothing wrong with that. I just, I'm not gonna like put a guy down and be like, oh, he's broke, he's like, you know, he's whatever. Like, I don't need to comment on those kind of things. It's just like one of these things where it's like, yeah, like if I'm meeting you initially, we're going on a date, you pick up the bill the first time, awesome. And as I get to know you and we're like really seeing each other, like I don't mind getting the bill, like I don't mind getting you presents or doing things for you. I feel like that is a partnership, right? Like I don't think that a guy should have to do everything all the time. Like as long as you're good to me, you're there for me, you support me, you're a friend to me. Like I think that, you know, I wouldn't mind doing things for you as well, like in the financial sense, I guess. Like I don't think that, you know, it should all be put on one person. So that's just kind of how I feel about that.
Here's what I'm trying to understand, because I got an argument with my mom about this actually. So my mom is like, Zach, blah blah blah, you live in LA, you're always dating these model girls, why don't you go for personality, right? Yeah. I'm like, all right, so you want me to date ugly girls? Oh no, not ugly girls, but just like you're always dating girls for looks, blah blah. I'm like, okay, mom. So there exists attractive girls with great personalities, and there exists ugly girls with great personalities. Of course I'm going to choose the attractive girl with a good personality, right? So if I was a girl, and this is just me personally, there's rich guys with great personalities, and there's, for lack of a better term, broke guys with good personalities. If I was a girl, I would 100% choose a rich guy with a good personality. And actually, I got another argument with this, one of my friends about this. I get in a lot of arguments. And she was like, Zach, are you worried that girls are just going to like date you for your money? And I was like thinking about it. I was like, okay, let's go down this rabbit hole, right? I was like, why is that a bad thing? And she goes, oh, well, if you lose all your money, then she's going to dip up and leave, right? So she's like, that's a very like risky relationship. But I was thinking about it, and I was like, what should I go for instead of money? She goes, oh, connection. Connection lasts forever, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, okay, how many times in real life, not in Disneyland, fairy tale land where everybody lives, but in real life has a girl told you, I just broke with my boyfriend because he lost all his money? I've never heard that a single time in my entire life. You know what I have heard? Probably like 1,000 times. I just broke with my boyfriend because we lost the connection. Oh, we lost the spark, or some nebulous answer like I outgrew him or something like that. That's why I think like connection, like, yeah, it sounds great on paper and like it's romantic and it's very like Disney movie, like princess, prince, and you kiss the frog and she turns into a princess, you know what I mean? But I feel like in real life, it's like, that's not really that real.
Yeah, so your point is that
money matters, in my opinion. I don't know. I would feel weird if a girl, like, even if like I go on vacation, like I'm not gonna be like, hey babe, here's the Venmo request for the Airbnb.
But like
what
if,
it feels weird to me. You
no,
know what I mean?
I
Like,
get that. But like,
weird,
what if it's your birthday and she takes you out and she gets you dinner and she like pays for things for you? Would that make you feel weird for her to do something?
No, if
like
it was
that?
like my birthday or something.
Yeah.
She's like, babe, I really want to pay for you. Blah,
what
blah,
if it's just like just another dinner? You guys are going on a date. Like she planned it. Like, hey, like let's do this date tonight, and you're like, yeah, let's do it. And then she just picks up the bill for you. You guys are dating.
I'll be like, I appreciate the offer.
Yeah.
I do appreciate you reaching for the wallet.
Okay.
But like, I got it. You know what
Okay.
I mean? Like,
yeah.
I don't know. For me, it makes me feel more like I'm a man. I'm not like, oh, please, can you help me pay this check? I don't make enough money.
Yeah,
please.
no, and that's fine.
Can you go to Applebee's instead? Like, I got some coupons in my car. Like, we can cut them out and like go to half price apps. You know what I mean?
So it just kind of creates almost like a feeling of like, oh, I could see, like, I feel like I've talked to a lot of guys that just say it makes me feel good to pick up the bill. It makes me feel good to like pay for things for a girl, and that's good too. I think that's great. And
I don't mind girls paying for.
Yeah. See, I mean, like I said, everybody has a different stance on it,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just like if I was with a guy and he wanted to do all that, like great, you know. But like what I'm saying is like I don't mind doing it, and I don't look at it as something that makes me feel like he's not treating me right or that that's not fair. That's just my view on it. But I do agree that there are a lot of guys that just like to do that. They feel comfort in just doing that. And so, you know.
Well, I mean, it seems like you guys have pretty, you're pretty easygoing when it comes to your standards as far as dating is concerned.
I don't really care about the whole like list or anything like that. It's just like nice guy, you know, honest. as far as like personal things, like just good humor, like.
Sure, but then you haven't been able to find anybody that matches your.
I have a good plan for
But
you.
I'm also not looking, and it's also like.
But see, I don't. You don't have to be looking in order for people to ask you out. I think you're attractive enough to get hit on fairly regularly. No.
Yeah, I mean, sure. I guess I just like don't put myself out there. I don't go out. You can ask him. I never like go to the clubs or the bars that much.
Yeah, but you said you have a catering job.
Yeah, we do like private events mostly.
Sure.
Yeah.
So there are guys at those events.
Yeah.
And then you do music, so there are other singers or whatever, other people that you might be collabing with or whatever it is.
For sure, yeah.
So, I can't imagine a world where, and also music on your Instagram, people are probably sliding into your DM on a regular basis.
Yeah, sure.
Here and there, no?
Yeah, I guess I just don't.
So it's more so you just personally
lot.
don't want to give the time away.
Yeah, no, I mean, like I said, if I met somebody organically and I really like that, well, I'll say this: I'm not interested in people easily. I'm just not, and it is nothing to do with they got to check off this, and that, or all these things. It's just if it's there, it's there, and if it's not, it's not. Yeah, and I don't date very like freely. Like I hate saying it like this. It sounds like I'm picky or selective, and I'm not. I just like, I guess I just, when I feel it, and I just haven't felt that way for somebody since like a past relationship I had, and I'm okay with that. If I met somebody that I really liked, sure, like I would put in the work, I would pursue it. I just, I feel like LA is also just like not a great dating pool. I'm here to kind of pursue my career and focus on that, not so much to find a person. If I did, great. The things I've heard about like LA and dating are not awesome, so I just feel like it's another factor I think about as well.
I do think though, it's like, okay, if you go to an exclusive club in LA or a Hollywood Hills party, the dating pool is not that good, right? If you go to Chipotle and you order a double steak bowl, brown rice, black beans, mild salsa, you put the Chipotle, which is the Chipotle Tabasco sauce, which is the best one. And then whoever's checking you out at the cash register, that guy, you're like, hey, let's grab a drink sometime. I guarantee you, nice guy, you don't care if he pays for your dinner, so it doesn't matter if he works at Chipotle. Probably will really care about you, probably will buy you flowers, do all this stuff. But the reality is girls don't want the guy who works at Chipotle. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, by the way. Like, I don't want, for example,
Zach, your scenarios kind of crack me up. You're kind of funny, bro.
That's true.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. Like, we'll talk about this really broad thing, and he'll be like, "Okay, but like, listen, what if you're in a room? Like, you just
I simplify things so the peasants can understand.
You don't simplify. You specify to the last fucking detail, and you're like, you're taking this like this entire concept of what we're talking about, just dating in general, and you're like, okay, but if you were at Chipotle, tell me you're not gonna date that guy. Like, I know you're not gonna date the Chipotle guy. Like, he's
for sure. I have
being crazy specific.
No.
How come?
I think I was being extra pussy that day. I think I was just in.
He's like,
back at like UT. Honestly, like University of Tennessee. Some good-looking men there, but
Southern guy, strong.
No, see, that's not
farmer.
I can't do the Southern farmer. No, a lot of just like it's a big school for people in like the Northeast, and because it's a big SEC football school, so it's really not like country filled. Like it's a big college town type thing. But no, there's a couple cuties at Chipotle. But like if I just rolled out of bed hungover, you know what I mean, stain on my shirt, eyelash hanging off from the night before, you know what I mean? Like now is not the time for him to be like, hey, Chris, like, let's grab drinks.
So there is a criteria on when a guy should ask you out.
Yeah, no, if I look like I literally live on Skid Row full time for fun. Yeah, no, absolutely not. I'm not.
You're not ready
out.
for that.
No, I'm not ready for that. Like, I'm still trying to process the bottle of tequila from the night before. Like,
what's that mean? Like, if you love me at my worst, you can love me at my best.
Yeah, and like I think when you're in a relationship, that's different. I mean, as someone, like I had really bad acne growing up, and that was like something I'd think about. I'm like, oh my god, I can never take my makeup off like in front of somebody that I want to be with, and that's a really shitty feeling, and feeling like you can never like be yourself. And that was honestly something really hard for me that I had to like learn about and overcome and realize that like and the guys that I've dated in my past, like they didn't care if I had makeup on or not, obviously, you know. But yeah, that was a hard thing to overcome. And if I'm not feeling confident, you know what I mean? My confidence is not, I'm going to go take out Jet over here, who's, you know, boiling up the white rice with extra lime seasoning if I look like a dead hamster.
So only ask you out after 5 o'clock.
Yeah, unless it's a Saturday, then I'm out pretty up and early.
Okay.
Air One run.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So the makeup's on because you never know who you're gonna see at Air One.
Do you go to the gym?
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
I do class pass. I boxing usually.
I'm gonna change it.
Sure.
How do you guys feel about horror movies?
I was just
Horror
gonna say,
movies.
fucking
You guys
love
like horror movies? I'm like,
You
let's
never
look
look
at
at
that
my
as my
perfect date.
now. She's got the
My
glasses
perfect
on.
date. My perfect date ends with a
You
horror
guys,
movie.
Horror movies are so fucking good. They're so elite.
good.
And like,
So elite.
they're just
Edge of
great.
your seat the whole
I
time.
only watch them during Halloween.
I think
Really?
women
Come
who
on.
like horror movies are troubled.
No, that's cat.
Yeah, that's fair.
Girls who have
Dude,
for
cats,
sure.
Yeah.
You guys are like
100%.
taking
I love horror
anything
movies
that's
and I
being
have a
said
cat.
and you're like,
too.
You have a cat too?
I have
you're like, mm-mm.
You know the theory.
You were born in Boston. You know what they say about the Boston girls. I'm like, you guys.
What do they say about us?
No, I'm making a joke because like I'm saying that like we'll say broad things
damn,
and
I got excited.
they're like turning
ready.
it into something that it doesn't need to be.
Yeah, it's called being
I'm
fun,
like,
Maddie. It's called being fun.
I'm like, horror movies are great. Who fucks with horror movies? Y'all fuck with horror movies? He's like, oh, you know, like there's actually a study about women.
God, my hair.
Like, I'm like, dude, like.
Yeah, just like do
I'm
you
like,
rip
do
American
you
Horror
fuck with
Story or
Insidious
not?
or not? Come on, like.
What the
I
fuck
like
is
Black
Insidious?
Mirror.
You
I
don't know
like Black
Insidious?
Mirror.
No, is that
Oh,
a horror
well,
movie?
you're not troubled enough, I guess, to know
Yeah,
about
no,
the
he
good.
doesn't get it.
the
I don't
good
watch horror movies.
He grew up in a
'cause
stable household.
that's what I'm saying. Horror movies are literally
Yeah.
first of all,
Yeah, go ahead.
Horror movies are cool.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. You do your
Guys, I
thing.
really hope
No,
I don't
I'm
get self-tanner on your
I'm really
seats.
curious to hear about
I'm just
this.
saying that now.
say what?
I hope I don't get self-tanner on your seats.
Me too.
Well, I mean, at this point, it is what it is.
At this point, it is.
Yeah.
We're just gonna pray
No,
for
I'm
us.
really curious. So, how to
Okay.
horror? Yeah, come on.
So
Let's hear it.
I don't get scared.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah,
so
for
like
sure.
when I
Did you go
go,
to Halloween Horror Nights?
I'm only
Yes.
scared of two things.
And you
We
didn't
just
get a
went-
little.
I was laughing the
You
whole
don't
time.
you
little
don't
jumpy?
experience
Him, Zach, and I literally don't get
You
scared.
just walk through like
That we
this.
just
I had to get
Yeah.
blackout drunk,
We
and
had-
it was my birthday.
we had girls with us that were just
Yeah.
like falling all over the
Yeah, that
place,
was
and
me.
just like
Oh yeah, when I went to
so I could go through
Screaming.
the
I
houses.
and
didn't
yelling.
get scared through the mazes either. I love that. That's my shit. Like I just
I do
love
too, but
I
I
love
was
horror
like,
stuff. Like
Chucky?
I'm not gonna be scared.
What are you doing here?
But let's break this down. You're telling me you don't experience fear
I
to
don't.
any capacity?
No.
No.
I jump out of planes for fun.
Yeah. Okay.
Wild.
That's
There's
fair.
only three things I'm scared
But
of.
wait,
There
I
used to be
didn't.
two,
I didn't hear
know.
this study. I want to hear this study.
The-
Yeah, I want to hear how troubled I am
So-
because I like
Oh yeah,
If-
yeah,
if-
I'm ready.
if
horror
you-
movies.
American Horror Story is my favorite TV show.
Oh, that show is great.
So good. New season?
Such a good show. Yeah.
New season? Okay, but
It's
they
good.
stopped it. They won't release the other half. 'cause
Yeah,
of
I
the
thought it
strike.
was really crazy how. Yeah. Oh, it's a
It's a
strike. Is
strike,
that
that's
why?
why.
Okay. Got. Sorry,
Sad.
I'm.
Sorry, we were
continue.
catching up.
Yeah,
You know,
it's
girl
okay.
stuff.
So,
Trouble girl syndrome.
If you enjoy fear, okay, and that's what you're essentially saying, which is I want to go and watch this horror movie, and that's fun for me.
I don't think
Right.
it's so much I want to watch it because I want to feel fear. It's just more like maybe you like the storyline, you like the aesthetic, you like maybe looking at things like that. You know
Horror
what I mean?
movies
Like maybe
have
it's
the
not so
most
much about
predictable storylines ever.
some of them. Yes, I agree.
All of
There
them.
are some. Okay.
No, I've
I
seen some
don't-
twisters.
Let me say this. I don't like the horror movies that are super just full of jump scares and that are corny and predictable. I like
Same.
horror movies that are almost kind of like thrillers or
Yeah.
I think there's another term for the type of horror movies I like. I like psychological thrillers. Like I really
Yes.
like movies like Midsummer, Hereditary, like
Yep.
things of that nature because they have like this element to them that makes you like uneasy and uncomfortable, but they also have like a really cool storyline behind it and like a main theme that you have to kind of figure out throughout the movie, and they're not predictable. However, you're thinking of like just like a generic horror movie that we've all grown up and known to be just like one of those really predictable, oh, this is going to jump out and this is going to do that. Yeah, I'm not huge into those. but
Would you consider what is it, Doctor? God damn it!
Doctor Strange.
No. That's no.
It's kind of scary.
It's
Yeah.
the doctor that Hannibal Lecter.
Oh, Hannibal Lecter.
Do you consider that a horror movie, or do you consider that a thriller, whatever it is that you called it?
I haven't seen enough of that to know, really.
Okay.
I've heard of it. I really like American Horror Story because, like, what we were talking about is that it's cool. Like, it's just really well directed. It has storylines, and what's so cool about the concept of that show is that every season is different. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know if you know about it, but like every season is based off a different story. It's like the first season was the murder house, and then the second season was Asylum, and they use all the same actors but with different characters. And what I like is that they just make it its own thing. Like, they did this one that was based in New Orleans called Coven, and it was about like witches and black magic and all this different stuff, and it was really cool. Yeah. Murder House was just about like just this house that, like, apparently if you die in, you stay. It's cool. Like, stuff like that. Like, I like the element of this kind of like uncomfortable, uneasy feeling, kind of gore a little bit, you know, stuff like that is fascinating to me. But I'm not really into the whole corny like jump scare, like I want to be scared. I just like that kind of like, ooh, like this is, you know, interesting. There's kind of a lore here with this.
Sure, but what is it about uncomfort that gives you pleasure?
I don't know. It's like not uncomfort, but just I guess the idea of feeling like seeing something that's kind of like out there. Like, how about this? How do you feel about like murder documentaries or things like that, like criminal cases?
Who is it that you thought you were?
Jeffrey Dahmer.
Jeffrey Dahmer.
He's from Wisconsin.
You thought you were him? Splendid.
It's a long story.
Who is it that you thought you were? Yeah, but I mean, I'm asking, how do you feel about just like
Jeffrey Dahmer, for example?
Yeah,
It's
Jeffrey
wild.
Dahmer, but just any documentary just going into criminal cases that deal with murder, homicide. Like, how do you feel about
but
those?
documentaries are not. See, those are not shows.
Right.
Documentaries are based
I'm
upon
asking
reality.
you, how do you feel about them? Like, do you
Fascinating.
Like them? Yeah, you're fascinated.
Sure,
So
but
if
it doesn't
something-
make me uncomfortable. Therefore, feeling pleasure.
Right.
It makes me.
It doesn't make you
curious.
in the slightest feel maybe uncomfort is the wrong word, but just some level of uneasiness hearing like, you know, such gory, crazy details about things, especially things that actually happened.
Not at all.
You don't think that follows any sort of correlation to watching something like a storyline that has that still uneasy kind of like, you know, gory kind of detail?
No, because when you watch something like that, the normal response would be curiosity
Right.
and the desire to understand.
Okay.
And so, but if you're watching it, we were having a conversation with regards to the fact that when women put on, whether it's like horror movies or scary movies, right?
Okay.
There is this excitement, like they get excited about the fear aspect of things, the uncomfortable aspect of
Is
it,
that
or
selective
it's
to
almost
women?
like
That's selective to women?
there's a lot more women that like horror movies
Yeah.
than men do.
Really?
Oh, I didn't know that.
And so when you it's interesting because my mom was one of those people. Like when I was a kid, my mom would be like, "Oh, let's like this horror movie came out. Like let's go and like watch it."
Yeah.
And like would go there and be like me, my brother, and my dad and my mom, and we're just sitting there watching this thing, and
Right.
we're like, "What the fuck is going on?" And then she's just like, you know, terrified and scared, and comes out, and afterwards she's like, "Oh my god, this was great."
To me,
Such a
I'm
great
not
movie."
like, I
I'm
don't really feel super scared or anything. I'm just kind of like watching it, going along the storyline. Like, I don't necessarily like to feel fear or be
Yeah.
jump scared. The jump scares actually kind of annoy me. I don't find them fun.
Because the music's
That's
gone.
what
like
I'm
it's
saying,
just somebody
like,
walking super slow. You know it's gonna right.
I don't want to watch a bunch of jump scares and feel that. I just like cool movies that kind of have like a gory touch to them and things like that.
Yeah.
Basically.
There's
But-
only one show that ever scared me.
What's that?
And literally to this day, I still have nightmares. I watched it 15 years ago. My friends make fun of me. Oh my God, how can you be scared of this show? But it was scarier than Paranormal Activity. It was scarier than Insidious. It was scarier than, what's the other one?
Those
everybody gets
movies are
scared of?
not scary.
was
It
it
was scarier than all of them.
was it like your piano tutorials?
No. Even worse.
Really?
Starts playing at midnight.
It was called 16 and Pregnant.
Oh.
These
wow.
girls got pregnant and they just had the kids when they were 16.
Mm-hmm.
And now these guys have these kids for 18 years of their life paying
Yeah.
child support.
Dude.
You got to take
Yeah.
care of them, take them to
This-
soccer
this
practice.
guy
It
is
was the
killing me.
scariest shit I've ever seen in my life.
I'm like, how do you feel about horror movies? He's like, no. being a dad at 16.
That shit is way
being
scary.
stuck
Like,
in
that's
child
hard.
support.
That's some real life
I'm
scariness.
like, this is like,
you know what I mean? That's like
we
oh, it's
start
a
off-
ghost. Like,
I was like,
ghost
hey
don't
guys,
exist,
when we do this podcast, I was like, let's not get into the men versus women thing. And you're like, okay. And then I'm sitting here, I'm like, I love horror movies. You're like, have you heard that study about how troubled women like horror movies? And I'm like, what's a scary
Yeah,
show?
right? I know.
He's like,
That was
no.
me.
You know what's scary? Child support, getting a bitch pregnant. Like, I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, you guys are taking everything and you're like,
It's called content. It's called creating
Yeah.
good content.
yeah.
Okay, what were you expecting me to say?
To what? Horror movies?
Sure.
I'm surprised to hear that more women, like you like statistically know this, more
Yeah.
women. I just have crippling ADHD. I'm going to be real with y'all. Like I just can't pay attention to anything else that's like slow or not.
Yeah.
Horror movies just keep my attention.
No, I'm not expecting a specific response. I guess I just, when I was like, how do you feel about horror movies? I thought it'd be like, oh, I like them or I don't like them. I didn't know it was going to be like,
Did you know the women are
well,
the
there's
worst
actually
human
this
being? No.
study. Like,
Okay, but
We didn't get
here's
200,000
the
followers.
problem.
Just
Suck.
being like, oh, it's great.
If every
Yeah.
question you asked me, I ended with the response of, "Oh yeah, okay, yeah, I like them."
No, I
And then you
wanted-
asked me another question. No, I don't like
No, I
it.
kind of
No,
I
I
kind
And
of
then
like
another
know
question.
that.
Oh yeah, okay.
I wanted you to go into detail. Like, I
kinda
wanted
like how
to
you
know
know
things.
it.
I was just saying
Fuck,
the
our
response
audience
was,
would be die of boredom.
No. I want there to be like an element for sure. I was just taken. I've never heard that. Like, it's an interesting.
Yeah, this is
study.
news to me.
Yeah.
But it
I'm
makes
not,
a lot
like,
of sense.
I'm not offended by anything or like feeling a type of way. I'm just
Yeah,
like
no,
really
this is-
fascinated. Yeah. That's one thing too. Like, nothing. I don't get sensitive to like any like, you know. I'm not like
Just the light.
Yeah. I just what?
Just the light.
Just a light.
Just the light.
No, just sensitive to light
to light.
because you have sunglasses.
Oh,
on.
yeah. So, well, I just was like, I'm going to transition into some cool stuff. I'm going
Matrix.
to put these glasses on. Yeah. From the Matrix. Yeah. No, these were cheap. That's another thing about me. Like, I'm a cheapskate. Like, I always try to get the cheapest thing I could find. Like,
Me and
I
my
think
Balenciaga
these
jean
are pretty
jacket.
cool looking glasses, and they're like $4, you know?
No, but I love me some gas station sunnies.
Yeah.
That's what's up. You
I
pull
can't
over
remember
to an
where I got
Arco.
these. I just remember them being really
Yeah.
cheap, and I was like, yeah, like, these are dope.
Yeah, I love me some
You
cheap
know?
sunnies. This is up.
Leah, if you could change one thing about yourself, what would it be?
We can't have our audiences
I'd
talk
probably-
about buying cheap sunglasses the whole podcast.
Like
like,
that-
what do you
they're
want
like
us
in
to
their
do?
delete.
We were going to be dead in the water. We don't want to
Are
lose
they-
followers.
Report
You know-
for
you know what's
spam.
funny?
Like, what do you mean?
That's fair.
Report for spam.
Maddie came here and was like, "Damn, like you guys have like 200." No, you said 200,000
yeah.
followers.
Yeah.
And then I was like thinking to myself, yeah, like we're trying to grow and stuff like that.
We
I
play
think
I
people
Spy.
after watching this episode, we're gonna lose followers rapidly.
No, it was.
It's going to be a mass exodus.
We've still had interesting topics in this. I'm not trying to make it boring. I just like it's just so like it's just so
Fun?
based around the same thing. I'm
I
like,
could talk about gas
let's
station
talk about
sunglasses
something
for a
else that's
while.
spicy and cool and like.
What do
I
you
don't
think
know.
is spicy and cool that you
Oh
want to
God!
talk
Don't
about?
put me on the spot. I don't know. I'm trying to think.
She says, "Don't put me on the spot." Wait, these are cool things to talk about because that's what people
yeah.
wanted to hear about. You know?
No. Yeah, I don't.
I will say I do buy cheap sunglasses.
Yeah.
Like my watches, I'll buy like a Rolex so I can finally fill the inner void caused
Yeah.
by years of bullying and emotional trauma during my
Right.
court of abuse
Real.
as a child. But like
Yeah.
from sunglasses, I lose them all the time anyway. I buy
My
cheap
products
ones.
fell apart and they were like $600, and my Forever 21 sunglasses work better than
Yeah,
my designer
sometimes-
ones.
Can you
I will
explain
not
something
buy
to me
more.
that I'm always trying to be confused about?
What?
You're always
you
trying to be
explain
confused
to me?
about.
Let's reverse that order. Why do girls buy like expensive like brand stuff?
See, that's one thing.
Because
I
obviously
don't
guys,
get.
they don't do it for
I don't
guys.
get
I
it.
actually don't.
Oh hell no!
I've never
Right? Like
owned,
guys don't
like-
care if you have Balenciaga, whatever.
No, they don't give two shakes of a donkey's tail. At
So
all. None. No.
is the
shakes.
reason you do it to show other girls like I'm better than you?
Fuck no. I'm
Okay.
I'm in the fashion space, so you know that's what I hope.
You're in a lot of spaces.
I'm in a lot of spaces. I know, right? Like,
She does costume. Yeah, never mind. Can I say that or not?
yeah, sure, you can say
Okay,
it.
she does costume design, so there's kind of.
Oh yeah, you can say that. Yeah, so keep the company.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I am in a lot of spaces. But for me, I don't know. I've just always been drawn to fashion, and I've loved designer, and I think it's so cool. And like I've always watched like the fashion weeks. So for me, it's just like I don't know. Literally since I was like little, like 8 or 9, I was like, I want a Louis Vuitton bag. My parents were like, go fuck yourself. You know?
Yeah.
So I don't know.
See,
I
like-
really love designer stuff. That's just me thing. It's like my goal is, you know, save up for this, get this. It's just I like it. I just think it's cool, and I love the fashion aspect behind a lot of it. So
No, designer stuff is really cool. I just think that if I see something and I fuck with it, and it's like not designer, if it's not like a name brand, I'm just like, yeah, like I'll wear that. It's cool.
It was just funny because you're like, if I fuck with it, your shirt just says fuck.
Fuck. Yeah.
That's fantastic.
I was at this like event, and they had this like pop-up stand, and this girl was selling like just like a bunch of sweatshirts and shirts that just said fuck, and I was like, that's cool. So I just copped it. Yeah.
Is that the wildest thing you've ever done?
Yeah, it is. That is the wildest thing I've ever done.
What is
I'm the most
wildest
bland
thing?
person that
what is the wildest thing you've ever done?
Oh gosh. I have so many cool stories, and it's so hard when you're being put on the spot of like, what's the coolest, wildest thing you've done?
In your opinion? I'll give you a minute to think about that while Leah talks about her what she would change about herself.
Word.
Yeah, go ahead.
I want some titties. Yep, nothing too crazy. It's like a nice solid like C cup.
C cups are solid. B or
Yep.
C. Yeah.
Yep, just something.
A is a
Wasn't
little
to
bit
sit
light.
there.
What
and,
cup size do you want, Zach?
I'm gonna be honest. I don't care that much about boobs. Like I dated a girl once.
Ass
Like,
is
No, I'm
in,
talking
right?
about
Little
like for
buttons and,
yourself.
I don't really
Like,
care.
what would you?
oh,
like?
I'm already
Yeah.
like BC. Like
Yeah.
probably in the middle.
BC.
But I've been benching a
Yeah.
lot, focusing
I
on
love
pecs.
to see it.
Yeah.
No,
Love to see it.
Leah, not surface level.
Oh.
Nothing cosmetic.
What did I change about myself? Not surface level. It's like, oof. I have like actually crippling ADHD, like terrible ADHD, and
You've done pretty well so far.
thank you. I'm on 50 milligrams of Vyvanse
Got it.
as we speak.
Got it.
But it's not to a crazy extent because I'm a very driven person, and I have no problem like networking and talking to people, and like we were saying earlier, like I have no problem making the first move on guys. Like I'm a very ambitious person, but it has in some slight ways like hindered my abilities in some instances, especially when it came to like test taking and, you know, showing things that I can actually do on paper versus in person. So I would not like to have a crippling ADHD.
You also take Xanax?
I don't take Xanax.
Okay.
Why was that a question? Are those like linked? Xanax and
My ex used
Vyvanse
to. Yeah.
is like Adderall.
No, I know.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Swag.
And so, but she also took Vyvanse because of constipation. So.
Okay, cool. I can see that. Yeah. Yeah.
But I feel like a lot of women do have issue with like stomach issues,
Yeah.
especially like the newer generation.
We do.
And I think it has a lot to do with like food and just.
I mean,
don't know,
food
medication
in America
maybe.
is like actually horse shit.
Yeah.
When you find out like everything that they put in your shit, it's disgusting.
HelloFresh. Fuck that.
Wait,
He's ganged up on HelloFresh, guys.
Fuck that
I have a
company.
really
He's ready-
If
fast.
you
ready to
offer
be
us a
warned.
sponsorship, we're gonna deny it, HelloFresh. Whatever one comes, it's already made. The cooks, the chefs cooked it up. I just stick it in the microwave. We will sponsor
You know
that.
The real
what,
war
Zach?
is
Go
between
get a
Zach and
fucking
HelloFresh.
Lunchable, okay?
I actually
Anyways,
like
I have a
Lunchables.
really interesting question to clear my name of being
Sure.
boring. So I do have to. My friend, I don't know if he came up with this, but he's the one who brought light to it. And so shout out to him. His name is Jonah. But he told me this. He asked me this question, and it said, "You know how there's like that scene of a movie where it's like something is happening crazy, and they're narrating it, and they're like." You're probably wondering how I got here in the situation, okay? So if you could think to any moment in your life that's happened, what would that scene be for you?
Oh, I can tell you 100%.
Okay, go ahead. Let's go,
Right.
Zach.
Here's the thing. So I used to be a little beta male simp guy, right?
Oh,
And
you're
then I
one
got
of
fucking
those.
friend zoned, fucking cheated on. They go for my friends. I turned into a huge fuckboy, gaslighting, all the thing, right? And now I'm kind of in the middle. I'm more like a fuck man.
He
I,
said
grew
now
up-
At least you
I'm in
own
the
it.
middle.
You know what?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love that.
Yeah.
So now that I like know how to play the game, there's only one girl who's beat me in the game. Like I can like outwit and like outmaneuver everything. There's one girl I like met my match. I couldn't beat her. And ironically, it wasn't even the girl that I was trying to hook up with. It was her friend. So we were you were there. We had a party at our house. Mo comes back
There's always this
from
segue.
highlight room, right? Brings a bunch of chicks back. And this girl that had met me the other day, she comes up to me right away. She had a couple drinks. oh, like flirting with me, being all touchy. And I'm like, all right, this is locked in, right?
Right. Locked in,
So,
loaded, ready to go.
15 minutes later, I'm like, yeah, like, let's go grab a drink. You know, I have the good alcohol in my room. Let's grab the good alcohol. And she kind of looks at me. She kind of smiles.
You're like, I have a Magnum 42 bottle in my room, and it's ready to be drunk.
She kind of smiles and she's like, I really shouldn't. I'm like, okay, you're playing the game. I'm playing the game. I will win the game, but okay. So we grab a drink in the kitchen. We go up to the rooftop. Right, it's the moon out, the stars. It's romantic. I'm like, all right. We talk for like half an hour. Then I'm like, yo, like we're talking about music. I'm like, oh, I have a piano in my room. I can like play a song for you. And she like smiles. She like thinks about it. And she's like, I really shouldn't. I'm like, okay, fair game. You're playing the game. I'm playing the game. Like it's all fair, right? So then,
is this still in regards to the
man's
question
like
I
passing the
asked?
soccer ball around?
the next 30 minutes, right? We talk about all the stuff that Gen Z people like to talk about. Oh, trauma. Oh, manifestation. Oh, I had therapists, blah, blah, blah. We talk about all the deep stuff, right? Build a connection. We start making out. I'm like, okay, sick. So we make out for like 10 seconds. I'm like, all right, let's go back to the room. She's like, all right. So she's down, right? Go to the room. We're laying down in my bed, full on making out everything, right? All of a sudden, her friend bursts through the door. Oh my God, I was looking for you. I'm like, fuck. And this girl was the biggest cockblock I've ever met, like in my entire existence. This girl would cockblock endangered pandas at the zoo. Like she has like zero boundaries for anything. And the next 3 hours, she was telling me about every single one of her star signs and how she's an empath.
What is a star sign?
What? Yeah. How
It's
do you
a
have
zodiac sign.
multiple
Zodiac sign.
You
star
guys.
signs?
No, you have like a Pluto sign, a Neptune sign. She was telling me all about it.
Dude,
Actually,
I'm not into
educated-
the
Yeah,
whole
I'm not
zodiac
I'm not
thing.
into that.
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
into zodiac stuff, and that's why when we started this, and you're like, "What's your star sign?" I'm like, "Is this really how we're gonna go into this?"
Yeah. But the thing is, like,
It's cool, it's fascinating, but I'm just like,
Some people
it's
are like
so brought up.
balls deep in their zodiac sign. They're like, no, I can't eat this whole wheat bread because my zodiac signs will get hit by a double-decker New York City
that's
tour
because they're
bus.
Gemini, duh. I mean, what do you
Yeah,
mean?
right. No, silly me.
Yeah. So the reason I was mad is like, it felt like, okay, I beat level 1, the drinks. I beat level 2, the rooftop. I beat level 3, and now it's like the final boss. It's like Bowser from fucking Super Mario. And ironically, she actually kind of looked like Bowser. Like she was a hefty girl, you know?
Did you have the premium alcohol in your room though?
I did, of course.
Okay.
The bottle's right
Was it
there.
Class
And
A?
1942.
That's right there.
We took it down because we ran out of
Okay.
tequila. Yeah.
Should we take a shot at 1942?
I mean, I'm down.
I
you
think
down,
that has to
Maddie?
happen.
Once it
I
finishes the
haven't
story.
eaten anything today, by the way, so
Oh, okay. Perfect.
this was
Where
my
are you
first
going,
meal.
Leah? Say-
I was gonna go get the 42.
No. Step
Oh, you're being a
forward.
gentleman, guys. He's so sweet.
Okay, after the story, we'll take a shot.
Okay. Yeah, finish this. Yeah, finish. See,
I'm sorry for the things you have to go through, Zach.
So then I text my friend Sarush. I was like, bro, come help me out. You have to help me out with Bowser. It was like I called in Luigi for like the fucking troops, right? Bowser was too strong. Like he couldn't beat Bowser. Then I just jerked off and went to bed. It's like sometimes
Damn.
Jordan scores 50 and still loses. It's like, what can you do, you know? But I was just
Yeah.
mad because every time I could like figure out a way out and this girl was too strong.
So
Damn.
that was the scene where you're like, and you're probably wondering how I got here.
Yeah.
like lotion
That-
in his left
are you
hand,
serious?
on top of his right.
mid jerk off. Like, you probably wonder how I got here. And then the audience is
You're-
like, I didn't think I signed up for this kind of movie.
And you're the entirety of your life, you consider that your prime scene of this is how I got here.
It's the funniest one for sure. It's no. Actually, there's funnier ones. Well, I don't know if you want to know that one. Do you want to know the one about the religious girl?
Yeah, because those are always the
Do
crazy
you have
ones.
anything that's just like about you
This is about
that's
church.
like interesting?
Oh, you don't care about church and religion and spirituality? Oh, okay.
Whoa.
If you don't, it's okay.
I definitely did not say that.
Okay,
but-
so this
I-
chick,
Go ahead.
we went out for drinks, right? This is back in my villain era, back in my fuck
Okay,
days.
you were like full on,
Yeah.
you know, smoke weed every day, 6641 on Instagram.
Not even drugs, just like alcohol and chicks. Like that's all I
Okay, yeah,
cared about.
booze
like,
and bitches.
Literally,
that was your
I was in
phase.
my
He's
do
like,
anything to
now
get laid phase,
I
yeah,
just care about alcohol, chicks, and clubs.
Yeah, exactly. He's one.
Now I also
He's like, I
care
have
about my career path.
More
okay?
priorities.
Now I'm on LinkedIn, okay? So,
Oh my God, Sam, add me.
damn, let's go.
Okay, cool.
Will you endorse my skills though?
I will.
Actually, you know what?
Yeah, I will.
Okay.
I will.
I
I
want
can
you to
verify.
answer that question.
Well, I'll answer that question, but I'll also answer it for him because I
Okay.
know what that moment is for him.
Go ahead, yeah.
My actual moment?
No, like, and you
Yes.
guys, like, this could be an interesting thing. Like, I get we're trying to do this thing, but like, you just think of something really dope that happened in your life that, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it could be anything.
It's not dope as far as his life is concerned. It's actually
Yeah.
pretty sad.
Oh,
the
okay.
reason why he's here at this very moment.
Okay.
Okay. So exactly what you're saying, the scene that
Scared
you're
of what
talking
you're
about.
gonna
Okay. The very scene you're talking about.
Right,
you
right.
wonder why I'm here right now.
Uh-huh.
Okay. How I got here, right?
Right.
For Zach is the moment he started dating this chick in college.
Okay.
What's her name?
Julie.
Julie.
If it's the same girl you're talking about.
There's only one.
Yeah.
And that was the moment.
Okay.
How did you meet her?
In high school.
And that
In high
changed
school you met
everything
her.
for you?
Okay, this was back in my simp days. My back in like, live at your girlfriend's boyfriend's house, ride bird scooters around, coupons, like those kind of days, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Coupons.
I could not get a girl to save my life because I was just like simp, lonely, blah blah blah. Finally, this girl liked me, right? So.
But you know, Zach, you're a really talented, cool dude. Like, fuck that
Once
shit.
he
You know?
finishes the story, you'll understand.
I think you just needed to find yourself, and I think you've done that.
No, that's all bullshit when people say find yourself, blah 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 blah. It's all.
Well,
Here's why.
I feel like you've really stepped into who you want to
Julie,
be.
no,
to a degree.
Julie's the catalyst of
Oh.
the reason why he is who he is today.
That is actually true. Yeah. I
Please
should actually thank
continue.
her.
Yeah.
This girl literally pulled a pregnancy test out of her thing, positive. And I was like, maybe you should take another one. She fucking pulled another one out of her hoodie, positive again. For
Oh, yeah,
literally
that's
like
way more than.
a month, I
way more
thought
deep
I
than
got
mine.
this girl pregnant. And I always wear a condom, right? So I'm like Googling, oh, if you're cuddling with somebody, is it possible?
I've
it
done that shit
swims
too.
up there. You know what I'm talking about.
Like you give somebody a hand job and it's like, if I gave somebody a hand job, washed my hands, took a shower, 4 to 6 business days later, changed my underwear, can I get pregnant?
And every website is like,
Everyone's
technically,
like, technically,
it's
there's- yeah.
possible. I'm like, that's me. God fucking put this
That
on me
was
because I don't go to
me.
church enough.
Oh my god,
That's
that was
what
me.
happened.
That was exactly me. I've looked up
100%.
every single like, can you get pregnant from dry humping if you're both wearing clothes?
I looked all that same Reddit,
That was me.
everything.
Oh my god,
bro.
yeah,
Like,
I was
it's
terrified.
Crazy. Yeah,
Yeah,
no, that's
every
true.
single one. The Discord, threads, all of them.
Game over.
all of
yeah.
them.
That shit is scary.
I'm glad we just bonded over that.
I did too,
Because that
yeah.
was a really trying time for me.
I know. No, it was
That one was
literally,
a rough one.
for an entire month. I was like,
like
what the
very
fuck
well
am I
knowing
doing?
what sex is as like a almost legal adult. I'm like, if I'm dry humping 4 to 6 feet away from my boyfriend, like, can it still find a way to like
If I make
get
really
inside me?
strong eye contact for a long time, is
I
it
was
possible?
all of those. I was all of those. I like
Yeah.
truly thought I was the same way.
Yeah.
That was wild. That's a wild time.
Cheers to that.
Yeah, honestly. Yeah, that deserves a shot of 1942.
Well, I guess we figured out what the wildest thing you've ever done is.
Actually, I don't know. That's a good one.
Maddie, did you think of one?
I've done so many, not like, oh, I'm so awesome, but I've done really cool things, and I'm just trying to think of something that would be considered like a really wild thing.
I mean, just say whatever comes to your mind that you think is very cool. Let's see if we even agree on what you consider cool as opposed to what I consider cool. Because I might think it's just boring as fuck.
Mine was pretty cool. Have you ever had sex in 2 different countries at the same time? If I'm already going to the bathroom on an airplane, like there's room for me, myself, and I. You know what I mean? I can't even. I don't even know how you could even get hard. On an airplane in a fucking Delta. Fucking
Delta's nice.
plane.
I thought you were gonna say, like,
a
Frontier.
Spirit.
Yeah,
It's like the airline
Spirit
affects
Airlines
your
bathroom.
level
Out of
of-
toilet paper, no soap.
Yeah,
And you're
yeah.
like, dude, I absolutely
No
cannot
bonus
wait.
miles either,
No,
yeah.
no bonus
Yeah.
miles. Nothing. No Wi-Fi. No outlets.
No outlets,
And you're like,
yeah.
dude, I'm about to bust the fattest peanut butter cup right now in my bitch on the Spirit Airlines flight.
I had a bad experience with car sex, so I'm definitely not doing fucking airplane sex.
I've
That
had
shit's
so
crazy.
much car sex.
Really?
Yeah. I feel like it can be good, but usually it's bad, and usually it's because you don't have anywhere else to go.
Have you ever got your ribs bruised by center console? That shit sucks.
No, but I have gotten like choked to the point where like
How
I actually was bruised.
How?
How could you possibly?
You're sitting in the front seat.
No, I
Why
could,
would you be sitting
I've
in the
had
front
some crazy.
seat?
That's the whole story.
I've had some
the whole
crazy
story.
scenarios.
Zach?
All right.
What's up?
Was someone bending you over? How
Even
did-
worse. Even worse.
She was on top?
Yeah.
Okay, and I had a
Oh,
Volkswagen
Jesus.
Jetta growing up. All right, so I was.
You still have it.
No, I have a different Volkswagen now,
Oh,
but I'm
okay.
trading it in for a Tesla. I got a quote yesterday.
Oh, shit,
Congratulations.
here's a
Thank
Tesla.
you
Yeah,
so much.
yeah.
I'm so excited.
Wait, who sent you the code?
What code?
Referral code.
Is that a thing?
Nah, never mind.
Mo's trying to get paid.
No, if you do have a
Yeah, I want
referral
my,
code, like text
super-
me it.
Yeah, I'll send it to
I'm
you.
serious
Yeah.
because I'm about to like go balls deep in this.
Yeah,
Tesla.
I'll send it to you so
I'm
you
really
could get
excited.
you get some free shit.
I love free things, like free samples at
Yeah,
Costco.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Just go around fucking
Yeah,
twice.
that's right. That's why
So
I
they
have my
forget.
yearly member. Yeah. Yeah. Put a
on a
fake
hat.
mustache on the second time around. Never fucking know. They never fucking know.
Get a trench coat and a fake mustache.
Yeah, they'll
Game
never
over.
know it's me.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
true.
Always.
And then every time I also say, oh, this is also for my girlfriend too. So twice. So
Yeah,
now
yeah,
it's
yeah.
like 4.
Yeah.
You know? And
Yeah.
then you just don't need to eat lunch after.
It's PEMDAS. You cancel out the X's and you carry the 1. And that's on free dinner.
Yeah, that's just math.
That's just
basic
math right there.
Well, it's girl math technically, but yes.
Girl math. Oh, girl math and boy math. That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a really good one. Girl math is having cash and it doesn't go in your bank account, so it doesn't count.
So it's like you never spend money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like the
That's actually
$200
funny.
shoes I bought specifically for a Halloween costume, I bought it in cash. Doesn't exist.
You bought it for free.
Not in the bank. It's
Not
not,
in the
numbers
bank,
on the
not on the
screen.
statement.
You got them for free.
I got them for free.
No,
I did.
that's
I got
legit. Yeah, that's
them for
legit.
free.
Yeah, I
I
can
handed the
confirm.
cashier $200 bills, but they were free. And that is how I think.
Girl math.
That's girl math. Girl math is also having water bottles in my car 1 foot away from my apartment and door dashing from 7-Eleven because I don't want to walk to my car. That's girl math.
That's girl math.
And
for
I'm
sure.
in the epitome of it.
Girls love DoorDash.
Yeah.
Yeah. To be fair, I also
I
like.
love Uber Eats.
I
I'm an
love
Uber Eats
Uber Eats,
girly.
too. I am too.
But you scroll
But
and
that's only because I don't know how to cook.
I can cook. I used to have like a cooking Instagram back in the day.
I'm going to teach you how to cook.
Yeah, you need to just fucking cook, man.
Even if you learn how to cook, then you're like at the grocery store, like, oh, what
That's
are
why
the,
you get Hello
hey,
Fucking
where's the garlic
Fresh,
cloves?
and they
Is it
put it
aisle
all
50?
together
That's
for you,
why-
and then you just have to
the
cook,
flex.
bro.
It's the flex of the fact that you can
That is,
cook.
no, the flex is like not knowing how to cook.
You know,
Because
No,
I'm so
men that
rich,
can-
I
men
go to
that can-
catch every night.
if you
that
if
can
you
cook,
have the mental capacity
yeah,
to
that's
learn how to
sexy.
play
Yeah.
piano and
Yes.
teach it to people
Yeah,
on the
what the fuck,
internet,
you make piano
I think you can
videos?
fucking take your
Oh, I could
and
learn
you
how to
can't
cook.
cook your
you
bitch
can
and
take
I
your
roast beef?
no.
No. Yeah, I can.
You can take your adult Lunchable and you
Here's-
can go
you-
in your fucking nice ass kitchen and you can
Lunchable.
make
do
a
you
meal.
want, do you want
okay?
my best recipe?
No. You need to just get your shit together and cook your meals, okay?
I go on my phone
Make
for
your
the
bitch a nice
recipe.
miso
I have it
salmon.
saved on my phone. It's called Uber Eats. Get me a steak. Boom. 20 minutes later. Medium rare,
Yeah.
perfect by a chef who's been making steaks his entire life.
So
He's
then-
been
I
dedicated to
understand.
making steaks.
Then
But
why did
sometimes
you
don't
get
just wanna,
HelloFresh?
like, yeah, like don't you just want to feel? It's like that episode of the Kardashians where North is like cutting the cucumbers, and then the chef is like, "I'll come do it," and she's like, "No, I'm gonna do it."
I'm gonna
wants
make
to
you
feel
guys dinner
something.
one day, and I'm gonna sit you down. We'll have a nice dinner, and then I'll make the food.
I feel like
Mo-
you're the type of guy that enjoys the art of cooking.
He does, yeah.
Yeah,
he does,
And
yeah.
it's
And
it's
you
a
should-
no,
it's
no,
fun.
no.
I love
Because
it.
here's the thing: I'm not a great cook, but like I've met people and I've had friends that really enjoy the actual art of cooking, and it's really cool and fascinating. Like when you do learn small details of cooking, and then you start applying it to the food becomes more rewarding almost, you know, because like you get to try something new. You're not ordering something that you've had every single day, and like
No, I order different
you're
stuff every
saving
day.
money in a sense, but the cool thing about cooking is that you know exactly what is in everything that you're making, as opposed to like no, to a degree. Like I'm talking about when you go and you buy your ingredients and you know what you're gonna make.
Yeah, you do
and
know what's
you
in.
you
Yeah.
know what's in what you're making, and
And a fuck
it's
ton of
cool.
chemicals and shit like that.
That's the
too.
cool thing about cooking because you're so much more aware of what you're eating, what you're putting in your body.
But here's one thing you forgot to think about
What's that?
that I've thought through already.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people, you know, they're like, oh, I don't want to have this food. It has a lot of preservatives in it. I'm like, okay, so what do these preservatives do? Oh, well, if you put in the food, it makes the food last longer. It'll live longer, won't go bad, right? I'm like, okay, so if it has stuff that makes the food last longer, and I eat the food that has the stuff that makes it last longer, maybe that'll make me last longer.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Logic, boy math.
Boy math.
Unstop. I take
Boy
every
math.
negative and I turn into a positive. I'm like a fucking manifesting,
Yeah.
a manifesting beast.
That's a real.
Manifest the
That's a
universe,
real
yeah.
thing. That you
Zach,
just said.
you're really
Yeah,
dope.
yeah.
That I
Okay,
heard.
so guess what?
Wow.
I have a really cool
insults
story
him.
actually. So,
go.
Halloween night, I was with some friends. We went to this party, and then he just got a Tesla recently, my friend, and we like took it to go. We got burritos somewhere or something, and we were in the store and we're chilling. It's like me, my friend, and like 2 other people that were with us, right?
Your friend is a guy or a girl?
It's a guy.
Okay.
Yeah, and we were just eating, and then he gets this alert on his phone, and so he steps outside, and then he comes back in. He's like, somebody just stole my car, and we were like, what? And we look, and he's like, you know, obviously on Tesla you can track, so we're just watching whoever took this car just go down the road and stuff. We call the cops, right? Whatever. We do the whole thing. We file a report, and they're like, oh, well, like, you know, because we're looking, and they parked this car like at a location we could see where it was at, and we were like, can you go retrieve the car? And they're like, oh, we got to put this report in, and until the report's in, we can't go outside of our zone. We'd have to send the Culver City police to go there. And so then we're like, okay, well, you know, they're probably going to like do whatever they're going to do to the car or whatever it is. And they were like, oh, we don't recommend you go on your own because they could be stealing it for like illegal activity, right?
Fuck no. Your
But
whole
we
ass
were like,
car is there?
we were like,
I'm going.
they're going to fucking get that shit. So
And his new Tesla?
we
like,
literally, like we Uber back to his apartment. We get his friend's car, and we like look up this location, and they're like changing the music on it. We can like see everything they're doing, and they changed the name to like Meow. It was weird. And so we go, and then we like, we are kind of like a little sketched out because again, we don't know who these people are, like what their deal is, and they could be like, you know, on some shit. And we like park the car back down, and we see like kind of like the house or like the apartment. It's like a townhouse, so it's like there was no way to know who exactly like it was, like whose property it was, if that makes sense. Like there was just different units in the house, so we were like, okay, who is it for? We call the cops. We wait forever for them to get there. And we finally go, and like he gets his car back, but no one gets arrested. No one's at fault. Like they don't find who did it. He just gets his car back, and he finds that the person that took the car literally just changed their name on it to theirs, played music they like, deleted his like history, and then they like took his yoga mats, folded them in the back, and just like cleaned his car. Like they pretty much just like acted like they bought this car. They took this car. It was like 4 a.m, drove it to their apartment, and went to sleep. Like that was it. They took a fucking Tesla that is trackable with cameras and just parked it at their place and went to bed. But they cleaned it up like they acted like they had just bought this Tesla off of him. It was the craziest shit. But then like at the end, the cops did nothing. They're like, oh, well, we can't go in. We can't do anything because we don't know whose place it is specifically. So we just don't know who took it, and he just got his car back.
How did the car get stolen to begin with?
Great question. He said that he locked it, but that whoever like got into it just knows their way with Teslas apparently, because they used a phone or they used some kind of technology to get into the Tesla. They like hacked it, and they like got in, and that's why like he wasn't even able to stop the engine or like lock the doors when they started taking off, because apparently whoever did this knows what they're doing, and they just got it. But they must have been fucked up or something, because like they took it to their fucking, what I'm assuming to be their house, and then they went to sleep, and they just parked it like in the driveway. And that was it.
Stuff.
And then we just got it back. I mean, I know it's not that crazy of a story, but I just can't believe that like
you're gonna hack
there is
into
no
this car, but then park it in front of your fucking house.
That's how easy you could get a Tesla that easily, but also that we didn't, like, nobody was arrested, nobody was caught. Like the cops were just like, okay, cool, you got it back. Bye. Like
yeah,
we
they
were
don't
like,
care. They don't care about
we
that.
were just
they
like,
don't know what they're doing.
No.
we were like, you know, but I mean, I know it's a big city. There's like murders and crazy shit happening, but I just couldn't believe that like somebody committed Grand Theft Auto and like got away with it. Like they probably just woke up the next day like, damn, where's that Tesla I stole last night? Can you believe, like, what is going through your head?
Yeah, that's actually crazy as fuck.
What's going through your head
wild.
that you're like, I'm gonna bring this? And they folded his yoga mat and they cleaned up the car. Like, kid you not, like cleaned up the fucking car. Like he had trash in there. They threw the trash out. Like,
that's crazy.
Cleaned his car. They're like, we want to make sure he gets it back in good shape. But like,
I would have just slept in another car for the rest of the day. It was just like fucking stalked.
Yeah. Because that was so frustrating. Like I would want to know who took the fucking car, and like I wouldn't know. Like I would mostly to just be like, are you good? Like why did you bring this to your fucking crib at like 4 a.m? Like did you? I don't know. I want to have a conversation with the person who took it.
Yeah.
Because what, you know, like.
That's funny.
It's crazy.
I'm not surprised because, so I've gotten out of every single speeding ticket I've ever gotten. I'm 4-0. I'm like Jordan in the finals. You can't stop me. It's so easy to do.
Yeah.
Even
I
Did
need
you
your
go on,
lawyer
like-
because I have 2 red light tickets.
Did
Wanna
you
know
go
the
on dates
secret?
with all the cops? Like, what did you do?
There's an easier way to do it.
Oh, okay. Like you suck their dick?
No.
No?
It's even easier.
Oh,
it's
okay.
even easier.
Yeah.
Even easier?
Yeah.
I'm all ears.
So all you do when you get a ticket, right? They're gonna give you a court date. Now, most of the amateurs and the civilians, they just show up on the court date like a dum-dum who has cinder blocks instead of brains in their brain, right? What I do,
No, because that's a crazy concept, showing up to your court date assigned on paper
what I do
with government
is
regulation.
I extend it and I extend it and I extend it. Because what I realize is cops schedule all their tickets on one day. So
Yeah,
they come
they
in
do.
one day, they get them all out of the way. If you show up on a random day, the cop's not going to come in, right? So one time, I've met the final boss cop. Real,
Well, yeah,
like,
that's because they don't want to like go through the trouble of going to an actual court date.
yeah.
Is what it is.
But this guy,
Outing this on a podcast is wild.
I know, I don't give a fuck. These cops
You're
inside
like,
my...
listen, here's how I like.
So this cop came up to me. This is the 4th one, right? He was
Mm-hmm.
like, one of those like bottom of the ball
Maybe
sack
you should
sperm
just,
that
like-
like how the fuck did you make it to the egg? Like were the
Right.
other sperm drunk and they were fighting with each other and you Jack Sparrowed your way over there and fucking made it. I don't know how the fuck this guy was like so fucking annoying. I was only going like 13 over. And he literally says when he gave me the ticket, oh, don't think you're just gonna extend the court date this time. So I don't
so
know
he
if they
knew-
have me on record. He knew
Well, they probably do have you on
he
record.
knew my strategy. I still beat him because I'm fucking smarter than everybody.
How'd you beat him?
Yeah.
So I looked at this dude's
He's like,
name.
I'm just
'Cause
incredibly
they give you the name of the
persistent.
cop on the ticket.
Me taking notes right now,
You
having 2
look
red
up the
light
guy's
tickets.
name. I found him on Facebook. I found this motherfucker's birthday. And I extend and extend until it lands on this fucker's birthday. And he doesn't show up. I win, you lose. Nana nana boo boo. Stick your head in doo doo. Fuck everybody. You cannot give me a ticket. I will never lose. When
How
will the
did
cops learn their lesson?
How did you land it on his actual birthday?
You just keep extending it.
But like, how did it? There's like
Yeah, I
30
did get
days
lucky
in a
too.
month.
I did get lucky.
Yeah, you got lucky.
Because
as
usually they
fuck.
extend it about a week.
Oh
so.
wait, and another funny part of the story is when we were talking to the cops, like at
The
the
amount
scene.
of inaccuracies
Sorry, wait.
This
in
is
this
just
story.
When
My
we were-
story?
When we were talking to the cops after the car got stolen, we were making conversation with them for a while, and like this one cop was like, "Okay, well, we're gonna need your name and numbers as witnesses for the end of this for the report." And I was like, "Okay." So I give him like my name and my number. I get a text literally like a few days ago, and he's like, "Hey, like, just wanted to make sure you guys found the car, everything was good." I was like, "Yeah, we got it. It was in Culver City." He waits 2 days, and on the Friday night at like 11 p.m., he texts me and he goes, "Hey, it was just really nice talking to you. I was wondering if I could get to know you more over dinner." Like the deputy,
No
like
way.
texted me that.
They'd be like
Yeah,
that,
okay, but
though.
what's wrong with that? You suggested that there's nothing wrong with a
my
guy
God.
who's straightforward.
No,
You
no,
got
no,
caught. You got
He
caught.
was
No,
he
but
waited.
like-
He was respectful. He didn't do it right after.
No, I'm not talking about like being hit on. I'm just saying that like a cop was like, let
didn't
me
arrest
get
the
your
dude
let me
that
get
took my
your
friend's car,
information
right.
for witness, like for a scene basically.
Yes.
And then you use my number to like slide, like that's like,
Why? He's got
You don't think
feelings.
that
He's a
that's-
man.
you don't think that's a little like inappropriate?
Not at all.
No.
Not based upon your
A lot of
criteria.
girls like handcuffs, yeah.
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 Okay. Well,
I think.
don't know.
I think.
I
it-
just thought it was wild that he like texted me.
no, but
that.
anything is fair game based upon what you suggested.
Yeah.
that you like.
I
think
mean,
it's just the
come
shock
on though. Like
because
it's
same.
it's really just
That's just
like
happened to me.
it was just the situation, but it was also like you
Yeah.
guys didn't even get the fucking car
Car
back. We had
back.
to go get the car, and then you're
Right.
like sending me a text like, "Glad that you found the
He
car."
doesn't have to be great at his job in order to slide into your, well, not DM, but
Well, anyways, yeah.
he just sucked at his job, but then still wanted to. Obviously, he was attracted to you. Otherwise he wouldn't have.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's probably what it was. I'm guessing.
Yeah, but here's a question. The question is,
But I'm like, no, don't turn this into like I did think he was good enough for me or like
No.
It is not like that. I just
But here's my question.
I was just annoyed that like I gave my personal information because I thought I had to for like
I
this
agree-
thing.
I agree
and
with
then
you.
he used it to like
But okay, but let's turn
If he
this
had
around.
approached it
Let's turn this
differently,
around.
right?
So
And
how
if-
how would that be?
like
Yes.
if he was interested in me, like after we
Well, he
talked
obviously
or whatever,
was.
because we were making conversation like at the scene, we were just talking about
Uh-huh.
stuff, and I was like telling him, I was like, like nobody wants to. We were just talking about just what was happening,
Sure.
and like I guess we were making small talk and stuff too. But like if he wanted to pursue me, he could just be like, hey, like but again, I think he has a body cam, so like I wonder if that would have gotten him in trouble.
Obviously, yeah, he was at work.
But my thing is that like, I guess I would expect him to just say it right then and there. Like the fact that you're gonna take my information like for the scene, for the crime or whatever, and then you're gonna use that to like talk. I don't know.
I don't think that's a fair way of characterizing what happened.
So please characterize what happened.
He got everybody's information.
No.
That's not. They're two separate events
He
that
just
took
got
place.
my information, and then he got like the other guy that was with me, but he didn't even like get the information of my friend's car that was stolen or the other guy that was with us. He just got my information because I was talking to him, and then the guy that was next to me. And then when he got it, they put it in the system or whatever. But then like when he used it to just like go and text me and stuff, I don't know. I didn't love it. Like I didn't like that he like used my number.
But my question is, he couldn't have asked you out at that very moment.
You're asking me he couldn't have?
No, I'm telling you.
I'm
telling you that he couldn't have. He couldn't have. He's on duty. He cannot ask you out.
Okay, but I'm pretty sure.
Let's set that aside.
Yeah.
Okay. If a guy is interested in you, now at that point, what would he have to do in order to get your attention or ask you out?
Like in a situation like that?
Yeah, like what would be his what would be his choices?
I don't know, because I'm just so focused on the fact that my friend's car got stolen. I'm not even thinking about like games.
Precisely, right?
I'm like, I'm not thinking about it like that. So he wouldn't ask you out at
that moment.
I just, just maybe don't ask me out at any moment. Like, you know what I'm saying?
So he's interested in you, and he should just like be like, oh, you know what?
Why is this getting turned into? I'm just saying that, like,
why are you so afraid of being confronted? What? I don't understand.
I'm not afraid of confrontation. I don't like things being twisted into the like, oh, so you're not going to give him a chance? Like, it's like, no, I didn't say that.
That's what you were saying.
I'm not saying I'm not giving him a chance. I just don't like the idea that he like took my personal information that I thought was supposed to be for like what was going on and using it to just like
I agree with
talk
you.
to me. That's all I just don't like that. I
agree with you. My question is,
what is your question?
What would be the alternative? What would be his options when he wants to show somebody that he's interested in them? However, his bad luck, he ended up meeting them when he's on duty and when he's working.
Through that scenario, I mean, like I said, like I guess I don't know. Just say it while you're. I don't know. I just don't think getting somebody's number through something that is supposed to be your work, right? You're like, right. I'm getting this because and telling me I need this information for this to file this, and I'm like, okay, cool.
Which is true.
I'm giving, and that I don't doubt that's not true. I'm just saying, but then again, using that to like. I don't know. I just don't.
So you got your number.
Like
then he should have been like, you know what, lost cause. I'm not gonna be able to do anything with this woman. It's an inappropriate, and I'm just gonna move on. You know, this might have been the best connection of my life. This could be the woman of my dreams.
Oh my god. I don't think he was thinking that far about it. I think he was just like, let me shoot my shot, and I respect him. Shoot your shot. It's great. It's fine. I'm not like, I just. Personally, like I just didn't want to pursue that, and that's just me.
I do agree that's kind of fucked up.
Thank you.
You got her number like as like
so
a
you
police
guys
officer.
no you guys tell me this: if you were a cop and you were dealing with a situation like that, and this person is talking like, okay, it's another thing too is a vibe and like the energy of
sure.
Like if I was talking to him kind of in a more like not a flirty way, but just kind of more in a tone of like. They feel that I'm like wanting to kind of get to know them, and it's a,
like
you know what
like,
it is.
Hey girl, you've been.
I don't know what the statistics. No,
like
stop.
That?
They say like most of our language is body language, right?
Sure.
And I think that that's really fascinating because it's true. It's just the way that you carry yourself in a situation and like the way you're presenting yourself and
absolutely.
So I just feel like if I was giving him that kind of vibe, I guess, or if I was receiving that, being on the other side, being on his end, and I felt that way, then maybe like I would consider like bringing it up, talking about it. I don't know the protocols of cops. Like I don't know if they're allowed to say whatever, but I'm just saying, let's put you in those shoes. You're a cop. You're handling a scenario like that. The girl you're talking to, you're attracted to her, whatever. You want to pursue her to whatever degree, and you get her personal information, which you're supposed to do for the report. And you use that in turn to reach out to her. Would you do that? Like, is that something that you would do?
I just don't see an alternative.
Okay.
And the problem is you're not giving me an alternative, right? You gave me one route, and that route is the only route that exists in order for me to get in touch with this person that I'm interested in.
Okay.
There is no other option. What am I going to do? Stalk you and then randomly
No.
bump into you?
have
Do you want me to do that instead?
The other option is saying it right then and there. Just saying,
but I
hey.
can't do that.
But he's not supposed to do this either. He could get in trouble for
here's
that.
the thing.
I agree with her.
You're not supposed to take somebody's number from like it's I forget the term, but I know it's like a fuck. I don't know the term.
It's
but you're not
frowned upon.
supposed to use somebody's
it is
personal
frowned upon, yes.
information like in something like to that regard to
He'll probably get suspended
personal,
if he did such a thing.
Yeah, like
right?
I'm not trying to get him in trouble. I'm not trying to go that far. I'm just saying that like to me like I don't know. I'm asking
I
you.
understand.
I'm not
I
giving you an
understand what you're
alternative.
saying. Here's my problem. This is what you're not realizing.
Okay.
We're not talking about whether what he did is right or wrong. Okay, it's not about that because the rules that are put in place is to protect people
Right.
who have an issue like you from people to reach out by using their personal information that they have access to. Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. So those rules are in place to protect you. My problem is this. If he was acting inappropriately to a point where he was making you uncomfortable, I would say, yeah, you're absolutely right. He shouldn't have done this. This is wrong in every aspect. Mm-hmm. But it seems to me, based upon the story that you told me, that all he did was say, hey, would you be interested to go on a date?
Yeah,
you said no, and he left you alone. And that to me seems very respectful. But the only difference is this. What you are taking in this situation is not, hey, this guy was attracted to me and he came forward telling me he didn't do it at that very moment, which to me makes a lot of sense because you guys were trying to get him to do a job for you. And if he had told you that, if he had asked you out at that very moment, I would have been like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? Because that doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah. Like, let me clarify this, though. I am not by any means trying to villainize this guy. He was not creepy. He didn't make me feel uncomfortable. He was a nice guy. Like, it was...
Maddie, you have to stop.
Fine.
You have to stop trying to defend yourself to make it seem like somebody's trying to make you look bad. That's not the goal here.
No.
We're having a conversation
it's getting
to come
so
to an understanding.
stimmed out to, like...
Jesus Christ. We're trying to come to an understanding where you see his point of view from another guy's point of view because you're not having a conversation with him. You're having a conversation with a guy who I see where he is coming from.
Okay.
And that's all it is. I'm not saying you're a bad person. I'm not saying he's a bad person. I'm not saying he's a good person. I'm not saying you're a good person. It's just a situation that happened, and you obviously were uncomfortable with it. But the reason why you're uncomfortable with it is because you felt that your privacy was taken advantage of. Yes or no?
To a degree. Just, like, used for something that I didn't,
you didn't consent to.
Yeah.
Okay.
But, I mean... Yeah.
No?
No,
is there something else?
I'm agreeing.
Okay, yeah. So you did not consent to this guy asking you out. My problem is this, and I understand what you're saying. If you read the body language, but in that particular situation, it's really hard to read your body language because you're in a very heightened emotional state where your friend's car got stolen, and in no shape or form this is a romantic situation.
Yeah.
What I'm getting at is this. As a man who probably his job, his access is to some point limited, unless he goes out and whatever. But you could meet somebody that you're attracted to in any situation. You could meet them in a grocery store. You could meet them in fucking traveling. You could meet somebody going to the gym. You could meet somebody at work. You could meet somebody anywhere, right? You could meet somebody in a music studio.
Right.
If a guy in a music studio that you were interested in, not a guy being interested in you, but you were interested in the guy, and you're making music with him, how would you tell the guy that you're interested in him? And the only way, and here's the thing, the only way, yes, let's say you're very interested in this guy, okay, and really put yourself in this situation. You're very interested. You're like, damn, like this guy is the guy in my dreams, right? He's like the only person, and you have a call sheet. You go to the studio and you have a call sheet, and you get a call sheet. Everybody gets a call sheet. Yeah. It has the guy's information. It has his Instagram and his phone number on it. And you meet him, you work with him, you guys leave.
I feel like Instagram.
That's so different.
Following
though.
somebody on Instagram is so much different than getting somebody's phone number.
Let's say your
That's
Instagram is not
okay,
on there.
let's
then.
say that for one, that's a social media platform. Two,
Never mind the Instagram, just the phone number.
The thing about hypothetical situations and answering things like this is that like these are two different situations. Like,
how is it different?
Okay, for example, in a music setting, there's more of an element of like it's still professional, yes, and it's still about what you're doing, but you're more in a friendly atmosphere. You talk to people, you make conversation more so. It's more of a casual thing. As a like when you're dealing with a crime or something that's like happening like that, and you're meeting somebody through this circumstance of like they are a witness to something, and you're getting their personal information, and you guys, you know, they're just two different situations.
Yeah,
so
the circumstances.
I
are
understand
different.
the point you're trying to make, but what I'm saying is that like I'm sure he's a really nice guy. I know there was maybe not an alternative for him to go about doing it. I know like you're not trying to like villainize anybody. I'm just saying I don't know how to answer this to this degree because it's just like I just feel like it's being so dissected.
Here's where Maddie is kind of right, because I do agree with a lot of things you're saying, but in the music scenario, you have a choice. You can say, this guy's creepy, I'm not going to work with him. This guy's weird, blah, 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 blah. The cops is just like, what else are you going to do? Your car got stolen. 911, send an officer, whoever they send, that's who you're with. Like, you don't have a choice to work with them. You're being forced upon them, essentially. And then they're just using your private information for whatever the fuck they want.
So what about you? What if you were in a situation when you're just dealing with something and like woman, whoever, like takes your personal information? And I hate saying it like that. It's not that deep. I'm not like upset about it or like it doesn't bother me. It's just that like if somebody you're focusing in on something, you're not looking at it like that, and maybe they are like they think you're attractive, they want to get to know you to whatever degree, that's fine, and they're like, hey, like what's your personal information, I need it for this particular situation, and you give it to them and they reach out to you using that information to pursue you. Like, how would you?
I just don't think it's that big a deal.
I don't think it is either. That's why I don't like. I don't understand why this conversation. I was just telling like a funny. Well, I was just telling a story. I was like, it's kind of funny, and then later, like he reached out, whatever.
You said it's fucked up.
I didn't say it was fucked up. Did I say it was fucked up?
I mean, maybe I'm paraphrasing. I don't remember the exact word you used.
No, I guess if I did say that, I guess I don't want to like sit here and be like, oh, like it's so creepy and weird that he did this. He was a nice guy. Like, you know, you shot a shot. My words were I felt uncomfortable that he used my personal information and just, you know, reach out to me.
Sure,
but like,
paraphrasing, fucked up.
You know, I'm not like, you're right. When you go back to the thing of like, it's not a big deal. It's not. That's why
it isn't.
I don't understand why this is going into a whole thing.
If let's say, I mean, I don't what professional setting, you know, you could go into where it would be acceptable for somebody to use your personal information.
I don't
there
know,
isn't
because
any.
a crime like this is more like just not.
You know, I actually agree, because okay, let's say you hang out with a music producer, right?
Yeah. Who you agreeing with? What's going on?
I'm actually agreeing with you, kind of.
Is that
Let's
He's
say,
like, actually, I think I'm agreeing with you, Maddie.
Let's say you hang with a music producer. He's like, yo, we met on Instagram. We've been DMing. Oh, let me get your number. And you're like, no, I don't really feel comfortable.
I'm going to destroy your argument. You don't even have to finish this. I'm going to destroy your argument in 2 seconds.
Okay.
You go to Chipotle. There's a hot ass fucking chick behind the counter.
Yeah.
She's supermodel, but she's just like working there because she doesn't have money. She just moved to LA.
Okay. Yeah.
And she's like, hey, do you have a membership? And you're like, yeah. What's your phone number? Doop, 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 doop. A week later, she texts you, hey, I thought you were really cute. I met you at Chipotle. Would you want to go out to dinner?
It was a supermodel, yeah.
Oh, another situation.
What if she's an ugly girl?
Oh, yeah.
Like if she's a bad bitch. She's a bad bitch.
What if she's like a 4 working back there?
But see, that's what my issue is. Like,
if you're hot,
but now you guys are
different
breaking it
rules
down.
apply. We all know this.
So
We
you
all
guys
know
are
this.
breaking
If you're hot,
it down
different
to
rules
somebody
apply.
you're attracted to now too. Though.
100%, because that's what it is.
Yeah.
You see,
Yeah.
if there is a problem with the method, right? If he had an issue with the method, then the hot girl, he would have been like, how dare you? Are you fucking serious?
Yeah.
You messaging me using my private information that I gave you when I was
oh my God.
when I came and I
Okay.
ordered
I'll
something?
tell you the
I'm
problem
not
with your
feeling
scenario, though.
that intense about it.
I know. I'm
It's not that intense.
dramatizing it, obviously.
So let me ask you, what's the wildest thing you've ever done?
Why are you trying to change the subject?
Because I just feel like this
Wait, I'm gonna
topic,
destroy
this
both of your guys'
topic is
arguments
not
right
interesting enough to be this deep dived in.
Actually, it's pretty interesting.
It is for the people watching.
Yeah.
You really hate confrontation, huh?
I hate digital footprint. That's what I hate. If I'm being honest, like I just hate the idea of
Why
being
are you
put
on this
like,
show?
Well, like I want to be on a podcast and I want to be a part of stuff and have conversation and talk about things and stuff. I just like, I don't want it to look like I'm like sitting here like this guy's so creepy and weird for using my personal information.
But that's not
or
what
he
you
sucks.
said. So I don't understand why you're so worried that you didn't say those things.
No, I'm not worried. But you're asking me all these hypothetical situations and like all these other things, and I just feel like they don't apply to this thing because
They
it's
100%
so
apply.
different. You agreed with me, right? With the music thing and then like those are two different things. No.
They're both professional settings.
No, you forgot about something.
Yeah.
You forgot about something. Okay. The reason your hypothetical situation of the supermodel asking me for my number would never work is because the supermodel has options. And this is where you guys are going to hate me. You guys say, it doesn't matter if a guy's rich or not. If that cop was fucking rich, he would have never texted you because he has so many options. He wouldn't have to, where am I going to find a girl? Oh, I got this girl's number. It's kind of weird to text her, but I have no other options. If the cop was rich, he would have never texted you because he would have had other options.
Well, he's a cop. He's not rich.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
So that's just,
That's the problem. I know on the surface
I don't know
level,
if
it doesn't
that's
matter
accurate.
if guys are rich or poor, but
I feel
it
like
does
cops
matter.
don't make a lot of money.
But his parents could have had money.
Okay, fair.
He could have
Yeah,
a
you're
trust
right.
fund. Like that
right.
assumption.
You guys, I
just-
don't know. Here's
It's just
here's
because
the
he's a
thing.
cop,
I
he has
mean,
no
yeah, you're
money.
right.
That's-
My friend's car got stolen. We got the car back. It's great. We got it back. And it's awesome. It's perfect
Maddie,
shape.
never
They didn't do
start a
anything to it.
podcast because it'll be the most boring thing on the planet.
Me and Maddie could talk for
not true.
45 minutes about
But that's
cheap
don't-
sunglasses.
You don't have to make it like I'm being boring. Like, I like to talk about fun, cool things too. I just like
Yeah, but there has to be some sort of a back and forth of opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
Being
I
exchanged.
agree.
Otherwise, we're just sitting here agreeing with everything everybody says.
I agree with that. I don't think that it should be all about agreeing or like all just happy, fun things. But I'm just saying it doesn't mean that like I wouldn't have any interesting thing to talk about. I'm just saying like this particular thing. I'm just like I have nothing more to say about it. Like
I know we're not talking about that anymore because Zach had his own opinion, which I destroyed.
Well, no, but then I reverse destroyed yours. I jujitsu'd you. Yeah.
You came up with a scenario of that there wouldn't be a model behind the counter just because you think that somehow they wouldn't be working at Chipotle.
Sorry, I live in reality, not in fairy tale world where hot girls work at Chipotle.
But it was a
I
hypothetical.
mean, I've seen, like I said, I saw some cute boys over to Chipotle before.
I go to Chipotle every single day.
I
love Chipotle.
frequently.
Okay,
Me too.
so there's no
I
stores.
love me a
Love
good
it too.
You've
rice
never
bowl.
walked.
Yeah, me too.
You've
Extra
never,
rice. Yeah.
You've never walked into a store where you thought that there was a
I've
hot
seen
girl
cute people.
working.
Chipotle?
Honestly, like
No,
working
just
at like
a store,
the
any store.
cell phone center, like in the mall.
Yeah,
like,
there's a lot of hot people.
I've seen,
No, they congregate
they
there.
congregate
Yeah.
there. They want to rip you off and sell you a screen for $300.
Yeah,
and
I never
think
buy
they
it
use
either.
that.
Okay, how about
Not
this?
me either,
You
but
go
still.
to Gucci
Yeah.
and there's a hot girl behind the counter.
What's your point?
Supermodel uses your phone number
I
and
feel like
calls
hot
you.
people are hot people. Like,
But
it
no,
doesn't
my
bother
point
me
is,
where I meet somebody. if
Even
they're
the
hot.
Gucci girl wouldn't do that because she has options. No matter, it doesn't matter where she works. The point is she has options.
but
She
you're
wouldn't do it.
you're changing the hypothetical. You're saying that this hypothetical
No,
wouldn't happen.
I'm agreeing with both of you. I'm agreeing with you that in a technical sense, you are right. I'm agreeing with her in the stance of the reason of this happening and how to actually fix the problem in real life is guys need to have more options because they have to have their shit together and not be losers.
This is, suggesting that he doesn't have any other option. It also suggests that she's not a good option.
No, because it's more so like, because I remember when I couldn't get laid to save my life and any girl was like, maybe this is one that will like actually like me. Because I was a simp. No girls like me. You know what I mean? That's what it's like being the cop where no girls like you and you just pull girls over that are super hot and they always reject you. And then this girl rejects you. Then you're like, your mom introduces you to the girl from church. She rejects you too. You're just like, I just need some pussy. Like they're desperate. I'm not saying all cops, by the way. I'm saying this cop in particular. If
No,
this
some
cop
of
had
them are
options,
like that. I've had several. I've been hit on by several
all
cops.
this going
I'm sure.
For
I'm
sure.
sure.
Yeah.
all of this in the
I've also for sure gotten away with certain things because of the way that I look. And
Is it better to cry or to flirt? What gets you off tickets?
Flirt.
Flirt. Interesting.
for sure, act like you're interested in your life. I mean, you should never lie. Like, you should be straight up. Like, if
No, I would lie.
Like,
if I was
I
trying to
got-
get out a ticket, for sure.
I got pulled over and I commuted. So I lived in Nashville and I went to school in Knoxville, which is 3 hours apart.
Yeah, that is.
And
far.
I commuted twice a week to go to school.
That sucks.
It was
Yeah.
wild. So I was driving
Talking
and I
to
got
Mike,
pulled
Leo.
over. Sorry. I was driving and I got pulled over, but I was going like 95 and like, you know what I mean? Like, I was,
Like,
I
I get
asked,
it.
I understand. And then he pulled me over and he was like, so you know that you like just, took driving school? And I'm like, I did just take driving school. And he's like, and you know that like something else happened, some other violation on my thing. And I'm like, yeah. So he's like, why are you speeding? And I'm like, honestly, it's late. Like, I have class tomorrow morning. Like, here's my situation. I'm, like commuting from Nashville to Knoxville, and I'm sorry. Like, and so he was like, well, what do you do? Like, what are you in school for? So I'm like, how long were you in the police academy for? And he gave me a significantly reduced ticket where he could have like creamed my ass if he wanted to.
Like creamed your ass like in a sexual way? Or?
No, I mean like he could have like actually like written me like a $2,000 speeding ticket probably with everything, and like just going through driving school and having like another violation. I just like warded off of my record. But he might have wanted to do that.
Right.
Maybe, but he still wrote me the ticket, so clearly not enough.
Hot girl privilege.
Oh, it's real for sure. I used to be like, not you wouldn't recognize me if I showed you a picture of myself when I was like 16.
You had a glow up?
For sure.
Oh, no
like
way.
a crazy glow up. And like being treated the way that I was when I didn't have eyebrows and looked literally dead. And I don't even know who let me out of the house like that, but whatever.
Everybody says those are the best girls because you have to develop a personality.
You do, because like I was never invited to things. The guys in high school never liked me. Like I was left out of things.
I was definitely never popular.
Yeah, I was never.
to
Oh my
any
god, I was
degree.
bullied, bro. I was bullied like a motherfucker in high school. Like they called me like pimple face and like Vaseline girl because I had like
Vaseline.
which is creative. I'll give them that. That was pretty good.
That is
But like obviously coming a long way from that. I mean, I remember how I was treated and how I'm treated now, and like I for sure can recognize like everything in my life, like being a bottle girl. Like hello, that's a huge privilege. Like there's the large majority of girls that could never have the job that I have, just because of the way that they look.
Speaking of the mic.
Sorry, I'm so bad. My back
Yeah,
hurts. I've been
wait,
sitting all
You
day.
Speaking
can,
of,
you
like-
can pull the mic. You can just match
Oh,
it.
really?
There was this
Yeah.
kid in school I used to have
Like pretty
beef
privilege is
with,
real.
and we would go back and forth with each other. And then we ended up becoming friends like later through the grades. Like I think it was like 7th or 8th grade we would have beef. And it wasn't until like high school years where we actually became friends. But like we would go back and forth. He used to call me an albino roach. And I literally like years later I dabbed him up. I was like, dude,
Damn.
that was a solid roast, man. Like I gotta respect it.
I gotta respect. a
He
good
was
roast.
hilarious. And like we used to just go back and forth, and like, just by the time we reached high school, we're both like, you know what? I kind of fuck with you. And we became friends. But I don't know. I just thought that was a really good roast. I was like, for a 7th grade, I was like, that's
That's
kinda,
great.
You're
That's
fucking
crazy.
creative.
No,
was
same.
like,
I
yeah.
started getting like bullied
I gotta
pretty
give
bad.
it to you, man.
In like junior high, and I'm like well-oiled machine was another one. And I remember being
Well-oiled machine is great.
That's
I'm
funny.
serious.
That is a good
But now,
one.
like, I can look back and I'm like, damn, that was savage as fuck. Like, 7th grade, you know what I mean? We just read Edgar Allan Poe, and you have the balls to like talk about me loud enough to where I can hear it. You know what I mean? And of course, I'm like, distraught at the time. But now looking back, I'm like, that's crazy. Well-oiled machine. That's wild.
That is wild.
That's crazy. That is insane.
I remember
Props
there
to
was
them, though.
like, so I'm bisexual, and I've known that I've been bisexual for a long time. When I was like in 7th or 8th grade, these girls found out, and they were just like, oh my, like there's just one girl, she just like hated me, so she would use everything as like fuel. She'd be like, I heard you like girls, is that like your phone's falling? She was like, I heard you like girls, does that mean you have like a crush on me? And I was like, no, I only like the pretty girls.
Real.
And that was the
That's
best
so good.
clap back of my life. And she didn't give me shit for the rest of the year, and it was awesome.
Maybe she was
know.
giving you shit because she liked you.
Yeah, maybe she had a crush on you.
Who knows? I don't know. I just remembered like it's such a thing
You should
that
hit
like
her up, find her, and be like, "Hey,
Oh God, yeah, no. I mean, I definitely meant that statement.
Right, you said it with your chest.
But you know why? Because it's not about looks. She was ugly on the inside. She just wanted to just reflect on people, like fight people, and I just feel like maybe she had a bad home life or something. But she was just always such a bully, and I just can't respect that, you know. But I don't know. I just feel like. It's really, I feel like when you say you're bi or you say you're into girls, I feel like a lot of girls are just very quick to be like, they think that that you like them. And it's not the case, guys. It's not the case.
Well, final question is gonna say a lot about you. This is gonna tell us what you're made of, truly.
Okay.
From within.
Right.
No, don't preempt the question.
Don't give me some
preempt the
crazy
question.
shit.
It's not that crazy.
Okay.
All right. Does the green bubble matter?
Does the green bubble matter?
Would you reject a guy?
That's not the question.
Am I slow for not knowing?
Let's say you meet a guy.
The
he
green
texts you,
bubble.
the
Is this
bubble
okay?
green.
No, is this like a universal thing that everybody knows? And I just
No, because I'm
I
also
don't-
very
No,
lost. I'm like,
no,
is
no.
this
What is a
environmentally
guy?
safe?
I really don't know what that
You'll
means.
know once he talks.
Okay, let's say
once
you
he
meet a
says it.
guy.
green bubble.
He texts you, and the bubble in his text
Oh,
message
yeah.
is green
Yeah,
instead
that's a
of
big
blue.
red flag. My dad has an Android. I don't get along with my father very well. That's all I have to say. Like, yeah.
I like definitely like make jokes about it. It's like I feel like it's a weird thing that like when you've had an iPhone your whole life and you just texted everybody that has iPhones that you're so used to just the blue text that like when it is green it kind of throws you off. But like I'm not gonna be like, oh, I'm not gonna pursue this person anymore because they have an Android. Like
But it'd
that's,
be a
Don't
red
you have
flag.
green
Like,
bubble?
It's not
You
a
know.
deal breaker, but a
Don't
red
you have an
flag, yeah.
Android?
I do.
no, like
That's crazy. For what?
I'm much smarter than all of you.
That's I
combined.
knew you were gonna say
I
that.
don't.
I
I
mean,
do
it's
not.
true.
Yeah, I
People
knew you were gonna say that.
No, I think to be like, that's just so dumb. It's a red flag to have an Android. No, like it's not a red flag. Like it's just like, you know, we're used to seeing the blue text, I guess. But like if a guy texts me and it's a green text, like, what I'm gonna like not talk to him.
My
because
question
he
is
has
just
an
not a
why the
deal
fuck?
breaker, it's a red flag.
It's just like why the fuck
no,
do you have a
like-
Samsung?
I know.
Like why the fuck do you have a Samsung?
No, it's not.
You're
a
a
lot more
grown man.
features. I could
don't
do a
care.
lot more multitasking.
Do
Better
you have the new
camera.
flippy one? Because that's actually pretty badass.
I
That
feel
one
like-
is kind of cool.
That's cool.
Yeah. Where you can have the two
I saw the thing and I'm like, okay,
It's
I
kind
feel
of
like
cool.
sick.
It's kind of cool.
For my
I'm here for
biggest
it.
concern of red flags in a guy to be him having an Android, that says a lot about the things I lack to look
Right.
for
Unless your dad has
that
an
are
Android
actually
and
important.
It
Like,
comes from like
yeah.
trauma.
So to answer your question,
then like yeah.
to answer your question, no. Like I don't care. I think that's
Awesome.
why.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool.
You're good.
I don't like you anymore, but hey,
So
I
we're
don't like you
one and
anymore.
one.
We're
one
done.
and
I delete my number.
We're doing a contest because
It's over.
I'm team or iPhone. He's team Android.
I'm always taking my phone.
Right now it's about
Well, I
50-50,
mean, I
yeah.
prefer an iPhone. Like I.
Because then what
like
if you
having
think? What
an
if you want to
iPhone
heart their
that, like-
messages and then it's like, so and so just liked your
your message.
message,
Yeah, yeah,
and then
yeah.
you're trying to have a group
that
chat,
doesn't
and
happen
then
on your end. It happens on
What
our
if he
end.
texts you emoji and it's just
not
a bunch
not
of
if you're in a
question
group
marks?
chat.
Huh?
Not if you're in a group chat. My dad will like something, or my sister would
It's
like
a
a
thing-
message,
it's a
and then
thing-
it'll say like Kaylee liked,
Yeah,
this
because
comment.
when an
Look,
iPhone user
when you're in a group chat.
when an iPhone user likes an Android user's messages, that's what happens. Because
Yeah,
of the
that's so
system that-
silly.
yes, tell Apple this because they're
Don't
the
get
only
me wrong.
ones
I'd
trying
be
to.
hounding
They're
out.
the only ones
I'm giving them what
holding
they
you
want.
hostage.
They are. I'm giving them what
thing
they want.
about-
I buy a new phone every year.
This has
So you're
nothing- this is-
framing it
this
wrong.
is-
You're
this
framing
is-
it wrong.
I'm
No,
giving
no,
them
no,
what
I'll
they
tell you
want.
why
Yeah.
in a second. This has nothing to do with Android. The problem is Apple is using a system, refuses to open the floodgates and uses the same system that everybody else is using. And that's why you're having
Look,
these
I think
problems.
to ironically hate on an Android is funny. Like the memes, they're great.
They're so
come
great.
on,
They're
the
hilarious.
Android
so
memes
good.
are fucking funny.
They're hilarious.
They're
Am
so
I gonna
fucking good.
legitimately not pursue a person because they have an Android? No, that's
Whoa,
ridiculous.
that wasn't the question.
But
That is the question. You
Okay.
always
No,
try
no,
to
no, no,
change.
no,
I'm not-
I feel like we're
red
in two
flag doesn't
different-
mean deal breaker.
Okay,
red flag
right.
is it
Then-
kind of weird?
right.
Like you're like it's a red flag.
No,
I don't know.
so
Right,
then-
this
no,
person
no,
living
no,
in
no,
this
no.
century, a
I
young
don't
millennial,
consider it a red
has
flag. I do
chosen
not.
Yeah.
to buy an
But
Android.
I think the Android memes are hilarious. fuck yeah, that shit's
Yeah, that
funny
shit's
as
so
hell.
funny.
Like, that
Yeah,
shit's
very
so
hilarious.
funny.
Like
It's
waving
so good.
high, and it's like a pixelated Snapchat.
Yeah.
Like,
Am I gonna kind
Like,
of dog
oh my
my
goodness.
friend with his Android ass text tone? Yeah, like
Yeah.
I'm going to. It's funny, but like I'm not gonna legitimately consider that a red flag or a negative trait in a person for having an Android. No, I'm not gonna legitimately use it against you. But like I'll bully you a little bit because it's funny and it's just like
it is
the
funny.
memes
It's
are
funny.
great. Like the
It's
memes are
great.
so good. But like
Well,
that's where I stand.
thanks. I appreciate the point, at least if there's anything.
Mine comes from trauma, so it's different.
Sure. We got to get into what your dad has done to you on the next pod, I suppose.
Stay tuned, folks. The list is long.
Appreciate you guys coming on the show. Thank you. Sorry for all the confrontation.
No, it's all good. No, don't put it like I can handle confrontation. I'm totally about confrontation.
You've done pretty well.
I can. I just like sometimes when certain things get dissected, I'm not like uncomfortable or worried. I'm just kind of like I feel like this is like not that fun to talk about anymore.
Nothing's gonna make you look bad, so don't worry.
No. I know. It's all good.
Well, hopefully another time we'll have you both come back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This was fun.
This was a good time.
Thanks for watching. We'll see you later.